What's going on, everyone? It's Nina Infinity. Welcome to my channel on this Wednesday night. It's Infinite Talk, but my co-host is a little late. That's okay. I just wanted to get it started and say hello to a few of you who are in the chat already. I didn't want to keep you waiting, so I just wanted to start and say hello. I have spent most of the day watching the Kyle Rittenhouse trial via Nick Rekieta. So I just want to give a huge shout out to Nick Rekieta because he is doing excellent coverage on there. And I think he's just beating everyone in terms of his coverage for the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. Because like the mainstream media, their coverage is trash. No one is doing it like Nick is. And it's wonderful to be part of this community and know of his channel and be just watching it with everybody. I feel like we're all just kind of like watching this show, and it's been quite a ride. So today Kyle took the stand, and it was a little bit dramatic at times. He cried. I'm a huge fan of like courtroom dramas, so to watch this like go down live is kind of like, I don't know, it's something else, that's for sure. So before we get it started over here, everybody make sure you're smashing the like, sharing the stream, all that good stuff. And I'm gonna say hello to a few of you. Teresa Martin, hello. Good to see you, my friend. We have Puss in Boots in the chat. What's going on? Lettuce is here. Hello. Vangelis is here. Hello. Hello. John Edgar is here. Dom is here. Arizona Snowman is here. Hello. We have Deranged Lunatic, aka DL, sending me a rose super sticker. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. We got American Misfit here. Hello. Good to see you. Insanity 401's here. Hello. Hello. Jordan's here. I can't say your name. Orcanus is here. Hello, Orcanus. 200 Watt Studios is here, sending $2. Hail, Nina and John. Turtle Sex license for I don't think John will do it. But there you go. That's the only one I'll do all night. Good to see you. Good to see you. Gustav is here. Stop, Brad. Hi, what's going on? What's going on? Rob, and we have the one and the only John here. He is here. Hello. Hi.
Hey, what's up, Nina? What's up, everyone?
What's going on?
How do I sound? Do I sound okay?
You sound great.
I forgot to charge my other headphones, so I had to find these. But
you sound great, and I feel
cool.
like you got a new haircut, and you look nice.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, you're looking pretty spiffy yourself.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, just like hanging out. Have you been watching the Kyle Rittenhouse trial today at all?
I did. I didn't watch the entire thing, of course, but I was watching. I watched chunks of it. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I watched a whole bunch. I kind of like more into like the second hour or the third hour. I heard that he cried though. Like, so I didn't catch the first little bit. So I heard he cried, and then so I went and I rewounded it and watched it while they were like on lunch break and stuff like that. So I watched like what happened. Poor kid, man. That was sad. Did you see him cry? That was so sad.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was. I know people were saying that it was fake, that it wasn't legit, but I think it was. I guess I didn't see a lot of tears. It actually kind of reminded me of somebody who had like PTSD.
Yeah, me too.
It didn't seem. It wasn't. It reminded me of that scene with Christopher Walken in Deer Hunter.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, where he's trying to talk and he kind of breaks down. I mean, if he was acting, I think it was. I don't know why he would leave his arm up in the middle of that. I don't know. It just seemed like
it seemed totally like
traumatic.
He was like reliving it, and then it kind of like it happened,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking happened.
Yeah. And like it happened to me. Like a few weeks ago, I was having this really bad moment where I like relived something traumatic, and then like I start crying, and I couldn't even help it. And like it was just one of those things, like, and I didn't even kill anyone. This was just like a really traumatic experience for me. But
Mhm.
like I can't imagine like just shooting someone and then reliving that over again. I think that,
Yeah.
I don't know, I feel like his reaction was pretty normal. Of course, the lefties are losing it on Twitter and being like, "Oh
Yeah.
no, he's like,
He's just putting on a show.
yeah, he's
He's
just putting on a show, blah blah blah."
Yeah,
It's
it's purely an act, all of that, but
it's so ridiculous. I feel like some of them are just kind of like showing their tolerance. Like, did you see like that one lady? She tweeted out that like, she hopes that like this is the face you make when you like when you're gonna like the first night you're in the shower in prison or whatever, like, and then like put his picture of him crying, and I was like, bruh, like I can't believe people like tweet that kind of stuff. It's just like it's so fucking stupid.
yeah, we'll get into the specifics about. I mean, we've definitely talked about it, but I mean, the bottom line is if you are dumb enough to chase a guy with a gun, and that's the thing, because I saw the prosecution. Um, I saw them going back and forth, and really, and I'm sure they coached Kyle on the stand. I definitely think,
Oh, he was definitely coached because there was some answers he gave that were like,
yeah,
very, it seemed very coached.
yeah, certainly. I think he could have. There were some things where he could have done a better, a better job at answering. But then again, when you're, 17 or 18, uh, or maybe what is he, 18 or 19?
Yeah, he's 18 now. He was 17 at the time of the
Yeah.
shooting.
So, it's a pretty intimidating thing. And, I mean, we'll see how this whole thing plays out. I think he's going to get acquitted, or I think he's going to be found innocent, I should say.
I think so too, but then again,
They'll get
like
him on the
I think
charge, on the stuff, like obviously for him having a gun, being a minor, and
right,
all. But I
right.
think on the homicide, I just don't see that.
I
I don't
think
see
like
them matching.
Barnes law was saying that it might be like he can see a hung jury happen as well. Like it really depends on, I guess, the situation. I could see a hung jury too, and then like having like they'll go back to like retrial or whatever. But
Yeah,
I feel like I think Kyle did like really well actually for what happened.
sure.
I actually think the defense sucked. Like I was like, dude, like there was like times where they were not objecting. They were not objecting at anything that the guy was saying. At one point, the judge was like, "You're badgering." Like, the judge was like telling them
Yeah.
that this is badgering now. And I'm like, what's happening to the defense? Like, where is this guy? Like,
Well,
why is he not objecting to anything? And then one of the lawyers on Nick Rekieta's channel was saying that they think that he like the lawyers are reading the room and like the jury's expressions and stuff like that. So they're not like interjecting because they want him to badger the witness so that they can like feel bad for Kyle,
yeah,
because he's like repeating the same thing over and over and over. But at the same time, Barnes said that guy apparently like never objects to anything. So it's not like he has a history of not objecting. So it's not like a play that he's doing now. That's like the way he, practices law.
sure.
And I don't know if necessarily
Well,
like
does
that
it
can
come
be
off
a good
as you're
thing.
super defensive though, if you're
Right.
constantly objecting?
Exactly.
Like I could see that too. And so I do think there comes a point where you trust your coaching, and the things that you've gone through,
Yeah.
and you just let, I could see both ways of the reason why you would be objecting more. But
Mhm.
this way, I think it probably makes Kyle, I think the jury will be more sympathetic towards Kyle because of the kind of, the somewhat
What he's gone
abrasiveness
through.
of,
Yeah.
yeah, the
Yeah.
the prosecution. So,
Yeah. 200 Watt Studio sends $5. I can't believe he went on the stand. but he must have insisted. I don't know if he feels he needs to because he feels so much remorse, PTSD indeed. That was the other thing. I was actually surprised that he took the stand too. Did you think that
I
he was
didn't think he
going
was going
to?
to.
Yeah,
No,
I didn't
I
think he
didn't.
was going to either.
Yeah. I mean,
That
obviously
was weird.
he didn't have to. So it was I think in the end, I think it will be the right choice for the defense. You know, I and for Kyle, of course. I mean, I think it was the right move. I mean, we'll
Mhm.
see. I don't know. We'll see.
They're already calling some people online are already calling the judge a white supremacist.
Yeah, because the ringtone. I put out a video on that.
Yeah, the
Or
ringtone and his like him going like this.
oh, okay.
And then like somebody had posted it on Twitter, and then somebody had like commented with like the prosecution going like this. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
everybody's going like you don't know what you're doing with your hand gestures. Like you could go like this and like not even realize it, and then it's
Well,
like, oh,
Trump
here's
used
a
to do that
screenshot.
all the time.
That was
You
his
know,
whole thing.
Trump
Like that's
would, yeah, he'd be flashing that all over the place. And now I don't think he does it anymore
I don't think he does it anymore either, but I don't know. I haven't seen Trump
because
talk in person in a long time.
well, because I think it's because of the white supremacist stuff, but also some of his base too. I mean, the Illuminati
Yeah, they
stuff,
probably
I
like
mean,
told him, "You've got to stop this,
yeah,
Donald.
it's like,
Please. If there's anything that you could like, you just need to change. It's just this one thing. Just stop doing that."
he's like, okay, I'll do it.
I won't do it anymore.
I'll stop. I promise.
Leonard S, thank you so much for the $10. Says Kyle is more intelligent than the sleazy prosecutor. Kyle 18 consistently outwitted the joke prosecutor. Um, I think he just held his own. Like he knows, like he
Yeah,
has the truth on his side. He didn't really have to do anything. He like there was this one part where the prosecutor kept being like, um, well, like, why did you have your gun? Like he kept being like, well, why did you have your gun? Didn't you like you keep claiming that you weren't threatened, but then you had your gun. Like he kept trying to like make him sound like there wasn't anything threatening going on, and that's
yeah,
why like him taking the gun with him was like I don't know, whatever. Like he was going out looking for someone to kill kind of thing. And like I was like, listen, it's like a gun is a tool. So it's like, it like, do you wear a life vest when you go on a boat because you think you're gonna drown? No, you wear it because just in case you fall in the water, then you have a life vest. So he had a
yeah.
gun because he thought that he may need protection at some point during the night. Like he didn't go thinking like, oh yeah, I'm going to like kill everybody. Like, like it's that I don't understand that line of thought. And he kept saying that over and over and over. And it's like, okay, let me rephrase it like this. And like, I'm just like, dude, like you're not gonna like he kept trying to rephrase it. And that's how court works, by the way. Like
Yeah.
that's why it's really weird and it's kind of like a joke because
He's trying to
it's
get him in a trap.
yes. And it's like how well you can articulate a question and like how you can say it in every other which way where a person can fall into that trap and like finally give you the answer that
He
you're
wants
looking
him to
for.
incriminate himself is
Exactly.
basically in some way, shape, or form. That's what the prosecutor was looking for. And I think the guy is well, you saw the judge go off on the
Yeah, oh my
yeah.
god, that was so great. I was like, "Give me the popcorn, man. This is amazing." Like, I was just, like, on the edge of my seat at that point because I legit thought that he was gonna be like, "Okay, I'm throwing out this freaking case because he did basically say, like, you're in contempt and, like, if one more thing out of you and I'm gonna, like, I'm throwing this shit out." And I was like, "They should just ask," like, that's when like, I was like, "Just ask for a mistrial now." Like, why isn't the defense being like, "Well, like, we want a mistrial." And then, like, and they didn't do anything. They
Well, I
just
think
let him talk.
they still think he can they still think he's going to win. I think is why.
Mm,
Um
I don't
Otherwise
know.
they probably would want a mistrial, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was a
Unless you think you
questionable
are.
decision. Aw. MG says when Kyle cried, I cried too, man. Poor kid. I know, like I was pretty close because he was very emotional. But yeah, so like a lot of weird things happened during that trial. A lot of and a lot of interesting memes have come from the trial. That's my favorite part. Have you seen some of the memes?
I know what the guy. Um, well, I think was it two guys? I know the one where he said like he told they asked him what he said and he said like fuck you and he said I'm gonna let's go to the memes. Let's check them out.
Okay.
I've seen them, but
I
I
I
guess
saw
I'm
this from Adam Krigler, and he was like, "Meme this internet," and then people started memeing it. So we got Law for Dummies.
that's funny.
This photo is not altered according to the little Binger.
Little Binger.
Yeah, because
Who
he
looks like
looks like
Littlefinger.
Littlefinger.
Yeah.
That's, by the way, that was the other thing. Like, did you see that whole thing about how like he wanted to submit like that video into evidence, and then it was like a drone footage, and then he was like, we're gonna use our like fingers to zoom into the thing, like the
Yeah, I
pinch
saw
and
that.
zoom or whatever. And the judge was like, well, wait a minute, because that like adds pixels to the image, like it alters the image because that's like the algorithm kicks in, and I guess their previous expert had said that, and then they like the prosecution was like, basically just ignoring that or whatever, and they wanted to do it anyway. And he's like, well, like everybody does it at home. And it's like, bro, this isn't at home. This is the court. Like, I don't I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I guess I was a little bit confused by it. I'm not sure what they were exactly trying to say either, but like what they
well,
were trying to prove, but I don't think they got the chance to do it.
no, they didn't get a chance because the judge was like, well, if you want to go find like a expert that will corroborate your statement about it being as like basically as good as a magnifying glass, because he was saying like it's basically like a magnifying glass. It's a modern day magnifying glass. And like the judge was like, no, it isn't,
Yeah,
because
the
even
quality
though
of
I'm a
image.
boomer, like I know from the expert, like that that's not how it works. And so they couldn't find the expert in the allotted time, so he decided to just go with it. And then so he like started to play the video over and over again, and then trying to get Kyle to be like, well, do you see yourself like doing this? And then the guy was
It's
like,
like
he kept being
everybody's
like, no,
dots.
I don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't any detail. Like, there's nothing on that video. I mean, there's not like I didn't really see.
I didn't see shit.
It's like it could have been anybody, anything. We're talking about, um, you we need to be certain who's who and who's doing what. So
Yeah, I mean, it's
I
kind of important in a trial like this
yeah.
to be certain about what's actually happening. Somebody made this with "as" on it. That's funny. Oh my god, the Island Boys. That's hilarious. So yeah, gotta love the internet.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so the other thing that happened today was that crazy news about YouTube. Did you hear about all that?
Yeah, the dislikes you can no
Mhm.
longer see. It's a tragic day. I mean, this is we need a trial for this. The
It's
death of the dislike button.
the rest in peace dislike button.
Yeah. YouTube
Mind you,
needs
it
to be on
hasn't happened
trial.
yet because I went to Gary's channel earlier, and I saw it
I've
had
s-
like 54 dislikes. I was like, oh,
I've seen
I
it
can
all
still see it.
over. Like every video I've clicked on, you can't see you can't see any of the dislikes.
Oh,
It just
really?
says dislike next to it. Maybe it hasn't gone through in Cancun for whatever reason.
Oh, because Mexico is always last and everything. That's probably why.
I don't know about last,
But
but
you know what I mean. Like they're probably like pushing it out to the, I don't know, the American servers first, I guess. I
I
don't know.
guess, yeah, I'm not sure.
Um, but Fire says, "Damn, the highlight of my day was disliking Nina's uploads."
That's funny.
Rest in peace, dislike button. Yeah, it's only a matter of time that they say like we're gonna just disable comments now because people's feelings are being hurt.
Yeah,
Um,
I just don't get it. I mean, I get some people get review bombed or whatever, and I think they even said for like smaller channels, but
well,
I
they
mean,
said it was for smaller channels, but we all know it's not for smaller
I think it's for
channels.
Joe Biden.
That's
I think it's for the
exactly what
White
it
House
is.
YouTube channel. 'Cause
As a matter of fact, this article says as much. Says that officially the movie is intended to counter dislike attacks and help better protect our creators from harassment. Matt Colville, YouTube's creator liaison, said that people engaged in such coordinated attacks were doing this because they don't like the creator or what they stand for. It's much less likely to cause stress and embarrassment if the count isn't visible to the public. According to YouTube, such behavior is unfairly targeted at small creators, and those are getting started, which was confirmed by an internal experiment they conducted in July. And then this person's like, this is clearly for the White House channel. And then they said, since the change was tested in March, critics have pointed out that its main beneficiary wouldn't be the smaller channels, but the White House, whose 1.9 million subscriber official channel has been consistently disliked ratioed since the start of the Biden administration. Another beneficiary would be could be YouTube itself, as their 2018 rewind amounted to the most disliked video ever. The proposal to remove the dislike counter was first floated soon thereafter in February 2019. Colville denied that this was the case, though he acknowledged that YouTube has since given up on the annual Rewind series. This is about protecting all the creators and making sure that they have a chance to succeed and feel safe in doing so. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, I did just pull a Greta Thunberg. Blah, blah, blah.
she
Blah, blah,
didn't.
blah.
She didn't originate the blah blah blah.
That's true. She didn't.
She doesn't own it. She doesn't have a trademark on it.
I saw this from Libs of TikTok that I thought was pretty telling about this situation. They put this image out saying, I can't imagine why they're taking away the dislike button. Here we have one video from
Ouch.
President Biden.
It's
with
like 10 dislikes to every one. It looks like there.
Damn.
Yeah.
There's this one. Holy cow.
Yeah. Those
Another
are
one.
horrendous ratios. Man.
And then another one. Isn't that crazy?
That's funny. Is that on Colbert's channel too?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Well, not his channel specifically, but whatever
The Late
this
Show or
is.
whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
CBS, whatever the stupid network is that.
Well, they probably have their own channel.
So probably.
It probably is his.
I wouldn't know because I don't give a freaking flying, trying not to swear about his YouTube channel. They're getting ratioed on this new one. Look at the quote tweets. There's a lot of people that are unhappy about this and pointing out the folly.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna keep it.
Are they gonna just start giving like play buttons away to everybody now?
Oh.
Like it's kind of a joke on the millennials, the trophies. Like everybody gets a trophy.
Yeah, like
we want to make everybody feel good.
Trophies.
We don't want anybody to be hurt. I mean, now granted, the creators, like the thing of it is, we can still
see it on our end.
Yeah, so I guess like okay, it's not out in public, but you still know, like if people hated your video, you could still see it.
You would still know, but they wouldn't know, which is weird because a lot of people, like, that's how they gauge what they want to watch because time is valuable. So if they, like, a lot of times they'll be like, oh, this person's, like, a lot of people have disliked this video. They'll be like, but maybe I'm not going to watch this video,
Or they might be curious.
Or they might be curious to see why everybody hates it.
And be like, yeah, I hate it too. And hit that dislike button. I mean, I don't think that this is really going to help anybody. Because people are still like creators, if their video gets disliked, Like, okay, fine, it's not out there for the world to see,
Mhm.
but they see how many dislikes they got still. And they're so what's the next step? Is YouTube going to just remove the dislike button altogether, and will there just only be a like button?
I think they're just gonna remove comments at one point, because
I don't think.
this is technically all about the comments. Because if you if you because when you get a dislike ratio or whatever, usually people leave comments about why they disliked it, or like they'll go and they'll make a comment about like, oh look, or YouTubers make videos about the ratios. Like, oh, like look at this, is like this video by the White House has got ratioed, or Colbert, or like whatever. And then they'll just make fun of it. And then people make fun in the comments. Oh, look at your ratio, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I guess if they're going to remove the dislike, then yeah, the next thing is going to be the comments.
Yeah, because why would they have like that? That's the thing, right? Because they're saying like, oh, like they're going like people are getting like they get attacked. Like, okay, this is what they said. This is what they said, right? They're like, oh, these people are getting attacked. Like creators are getting attacked. To reduce target dislike attacks and their impact on creators, especially on smaller creators. You don't give a shit about smaller creators. Stop it. You'll no longer see a public dislike count on YouTube starting today. The dislike button is staying. This comes after lots of research and testing consideration. No, you're full of shit. There's another tweet that they actually updated this. Where is that? Because they were getting like so hammered on this news, and then they like replied to themselves, and they were like, "We tried to fix it, but we couldn't."
I mean, I won't be surprised if they bring it back. If they get enough heat over it, like I actually do think YouTube is they're pretty good about I mean, I think they're pretty good about if they get enough, if there's enough if there's enough stuff sent their way, I think they're going to have no choice but to listen and to think about it. But we'll see. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to be leaving YouTube because of this.
No,
At the
nobody's
same time,
leaving.
you know,
No,
and I
nobody's
don't think
leaving
people are going to
it, but
stop watching either. But it
no.
is, I mean, me personally, like I have to really, really dislike something to dislike a video. Like I usually never do. I mean,
I
it's very,
only
very
dislike
seldom.
certain things, like that Colbert thing that you saw. Like I
Sure.
dislike that.
See,
Like I was
yeah,
like, you know what, you like,
with the big guys like that,
yeah,
I don't have a problem. But if it's
yeah,
like a independent creator out there, I mean, even if I disagree with their take or whatever, I mean, it would have to be pretty. They'd have to be pretty bad.
yeah.
Um,
I hardly ever dislike like actual creators like that. Are
yeah,
creating something, because no matter what, you're putting your time in, and you're
yeah, you're
putting
putting yourself out
effort in.
there, and
Exactly.
that's
So
like I
even if I
can't.
don't agree with you, I'm not gonna dislike your video.
Yeah, I can't. I can't do it. Like unless somebody has a horrendously bad take. But again, like usually it's going to be somebody that's got a big subscriber count or something like that, where it's
Like
like,
even with your videos, like you'll like re-upload something, right? Like from like let's say TikTok or whatever, right? Like of like the idiots. I hate what they're doing, but I'm not gonna dislike your video because
yeah,
you're the person that's uploading it, but I hate the
sure,
content. You know what I'm
sure.
saying?
Sometimes people do, and that's fine too. I mean, it is, it's just going to
It
happen
is what
because
it
people
is.
are so like they hate what somebody else is doing, and so they're like, they're
Yeah,
just inclined to
fuck
push that
this.
dislike button. But I mean, it's all, it's engagement and whatever. I mean,
It is all engagement. And I think
yeah,
that's part of the reason that they're still keeping it, is because that their algorithm requires the engagement so that they can push out the content or not push out the
yeah,
content.
yeah.
That's how their entire algorithm works. Speaking of liking things, Miss Martin Muses sends us a rose super sticker. So thank you so
Hey,
much,
what's up, Teresa?
Teresa.
Thank you.
And again, speaking of liking things, please make sure you smash the like on this stream, because as I just said, the algorithm likes to know how you feel. Well, if you dislike it, you can press this like too. I mean, it's a free world.
Still
Well,
free. Oh.
used to be. Not anymore. I don't know. Well, we're advocating for freedom here.
Yeah. We'll try to keep it free.
Torgo the White, thank you so much for the $5. Says, step 1 workaround. Leave a comment that says, thumbs up this comment if you hate this video. Let the mayhem ensue. Stay moist, y'all. Stay moist to you too. You know what? That's actually pretty funny. Like, again, because that's why I think that they're gonna disable the comments next, because people are gonna just like be like, oh, I can't like have my dislikes shown.
I can't even
now.
just hit the dislike button. Now
Yeah.
I'm gonna put in a little work and leave
Yeah.
a
Now I'm
leave
gonna
in that
comment. People are just gonna start commenting thumbs downs. Like,
I could see that
know?
happening too.
I mean, it's not really that hard to show your dissatisfaction with what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, unless they really want to get rid of all of that, right? Which I think is their ultimate plan, because I think that what they're ultimately trying to do is cut down free speech, discord. Like, you know, they don't want people to talk about any of this stuff. So that's why they're like, you know what? Maybe we're just going to slowly take this shit out. If we don't give any people options to communicate, then they won't be able to.
Yeah, I mean, it's very possible. I mean, I could see from their perspective how they might think it's a little bit more appealing to advertisers, like if the platform if they're increasing the positivity of it. So like if they only wind up having a like button, you know, like people's feelings really can't get too hurt. I mean, of course in the comments, but then they'll probably increase their spam bots or certain keywords that people would there's comments that are held for review because of that now. Which I mean, you know, to some extent I get, because you are a platform that you're trying to woo and cater to advertisers and stuff. So,
well, I don't mind that actually, because sometimes I get freaking insane comments from weirdos, and I'm like, I don't want this on my channel. Like, remove.
Yeah, and people are free to obviously disagree and even be pretty, you know, pretty like you could like you have to say something pretty bad, I think, to get like comments. And usually it's the YouTube's their bots or algorithm or whatever. Yeah, is taking them out. So
yeah,
I mean, if you get a comment removed, it's like it must have been pretty bad, I imagine. Or I don't
Vertical
know.
Horizon says they want to create false optics. I agree with you. I think this is all, and also like I really do think it's because of the White House. The White House YouTube page, man. I'm telling you, like, it's just
Hey,
one
Joe
thing
could be
after
giving a
another.
call. Like, hey, Susan, how's it going? You know, could you do us a favor, maybe?
Yeah, just
Instead of like removing the dislikes for just our channel, just remove it for everybody, so it doesn't, you know, they don't suspect too much.
yeah, so that you know, it's equality for all. You know, we're going into that whole communism thing. So yeah, it's just let's make it all equal.
Spread the wealth.
Spread the hate.
Of yeah.
We don't want to be known as the haters here, but we are. Speaking of people I hate and dislike strongly, did you see this cringe ass shit that went on Twitter? From Pfizer.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw it on Instagram. Somebody memed it, but
A lot of people have memed it.
yeah.
Easy to get distracted by misinformation these days, but don't worry, science has got your back. Hashtag science will win. This was creepy.
It is creepy. And that I will say that science arm or whatever that creature is, like his tentacle is way too close. Yeah. To that guy's crotch.
Right here.
Yeah.
He's Me Tooing him.
I mean, that arm should be a lot higher.
I agree. So I didn't even get this at first. I was like, okay, so what? The human brain. So this thing is the human brain. Wild conspiracy theories is this bubble thing. He's reaching for it. And then science, like what, is like pulling
Science
him
comes
back
and saves you from being led away by all these crazy conspiracy theories.
Why does this guy look so creepy, and why is there sweat coming down his forehead like he's getting turned on by this guy? Like, what the fuck is
Yeah.
happening?
Yeah, I don't know who designed. Was this already in like an existing meme? I imagine.
No, I don't
Did
think so.
they
I'd never
create it?
seen anything like this before. They made this.
Yeah, it's
Their creative team was like, "This is a good idea."
probably by the same people who made the vaccine.
You know it's true.
And you could see there's like some form of enjoyment from the pink science creature too. You know, like
This thing.
yeah, they're both. It's just weird. I mean, the guy's he's going for a ball, you know, and the whole thing is just I don't.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
I don't
Is it a balloon? Is that what it is?
I don't know what it is. I think so. I think it's like a ball or a balloon, or I don't know what the fuck it is. It's a blob. King Jelly Bean from Rick and Morty.
Oh, okay.
It's Joe Biden.
I love how
Science is about pegging human.
yeah, I love how I don't know. It's again just they've got a corner on science. It's
Mhm.
like as if they own science.
Yeah, all of it.
Yeah, and science can never be wrong. Yet it's
Mm-mm.
always constantly changing and evolving. But it can never be wrong. It is
Never.
infallible.
Oh yeah, they turned off the replies, by the way.
Wow. Oh my
Let's read some of the
gosh.
quote tweets. That should be fun.
Yeah.
No comments allowed. Pfizer got your back like a rapist. Wow.
Look at
This guy saw the same thing you did. My body, my choice. The human brain, Pfizer, the human brain,
he's
my
covering
body,
his
my
mouth.
choice.
That's funny.
Oh my God, he's covering his mouth. That's hilarious. This is funnier
Yeah.
for sure. Oh my God. Thank you for dropping links, Teresa. By the way, everyone, John's
Thanks, Teresa.
links are all in the description down below as well for all of his channels and his Twitter. So make sure you are following all of that. Leonard, thank you for the $5. Says many vids have comments turned off. Who determines that? Does sniffle what?
You can turn. I think you can turn them off on your own
you can
video.
turn it off on your own.
Yeah.
Does sniff glue tube determine that, or does the vid producer determine that? So here's the thing that happened with me though. There was when I first started my channel, there was a whole bunch of times that YouTube automatically turned off my comments. And I made sure that it was on, and then like I would go in and then it would be turned off. And then I would go again and I would turn it on, and then I would go out and then it would turn off. And so I actually had to at them about it on Twitter and be like, yo, why do my comments keep turning off? And then they were like, oh, so sorry, we've been having this issue. And they responded to me and they were like, oh, sorry, we've been having this issue. We'll make sure that like, your comments are turned on. And I was like, because they said like something like, oh, are you sure that like basically like people aren't making like insensitive comments towards children or something like that? And I was like, all my videos are already
Adult.
like not for any kids, so nobody's talking about kids, like because they were like, oh, this is because like we want to protect the kids. It's always about protecting the kids. And it's like I already mark my videos not suitable for kids. Like how much do you like, what do you want from me? Like like
Yeah.
and so but they knew that. They were like, yeah, okay, sorry, it's an issue. And then they like after a while it fixed itself, and it hasn't happened since, like fingers crossed, but watch, it's gonna happen again tomorrow.
Think of the children.
It was
Think of
always
the children.
I'm telling you, it's always like I gotta get that clip where
From The
Mrs. Lovejoy
Simpsons.
is like, would somebody please think of the children? Oh, I love that show. I've been watching old Simpsons all week just because. GTFHO, LMAO. This is the real one. Some other language. Okay,
There's
science is fake as fuck. I'd rather forego the heart conditions. Thanks very much. Ouch. Pfizer disabled comments, quote tweets, zero, like
that's pretty
oh
good.
my god, that's pretty good. The pink science pedo inappropriately touching that kid. Oh my god.
I didn't know if it was a kid. I didn't
I didn't think it
see
was a
that.
kid. What the hell?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But again, his tentacle is way too close. Way too close there.
Unbelievable.
Be it I'm just gonna assume that's a male.
It doesn't have a sex, John.
Yeah. Well, I guess the human brain. Well, it's a representation, like an allegory or something.
Well, the human brain, I guess, depending on whose body it's in, would be either male or female. Right?
It's a slippery slope, folks.
I don't know. We're assuming it's gender, though. If Pfizer products is so great, they should not need immunity from liability. When
Yeah.
thousands of people are injured or killed by this thing, it should stop being distributed. Some of the stuff I can't even read on YouTube. My
Well,
channel's gonna get taken down.
I mean, you remember in Tylenol? I mean, actually, I don't even remember this, but I've read about it. Somebody was putting poison in Tylenol.
What?
Yeah, and people were
I don't remember
dying.
that.
People were getting killed. So that's what actually led to the like the sealed caps.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure.
I thought that
There's
was about some
something went
kid
down.
got into it and then they had to like make a child safety thing.
Yeah, let me double check and make sure.
Okay,
I
while
was
you do
listening
that,
to.
Latino Slant is here and apparently there's a raid happening. So thank you so much, Polly, and everybody check out Latino Slant's channel. Polly's awesome. Thank you for the raid, Polly.
Yeah, the Chicago Tylenol murders. Chicago Tylenol murders were a series of poisoning deaths resulting from drug tampering in Chicago metropolitan area in 1982. The victims had all taken Tylenol branded capsules that had been laced with potassium cyanide.
Ooh.
7 deaths. So what Tylenol did was they pulled all of their stuff from the shelf and created a cap system to where I suppose if it had been opened or not.
That had happened like through their company?
But not through their company. Somebody was probably going on the
Somebody was like
shelves
going in.
and putting poison
Oh,
in the Tylenol. But the
my
point here is
God.
like, again, very different things. But the fact is, like, Tylenol stopped distributing because of 7 deaths. That was it. They
Yeah.
did not want to be. They had to fix the situation.
Yeah.
With Pfizer, I mean, you would think, the whole idea was like, well, one death is too many with the pandemic, right? Like,
Yeah.
like one person dying is too many. Well, what happens when somebody dies from your vaccine? It's not the same. We were not thinking in those terms, right? It's not like, one vaccine death is too many. We have to find a much more perfect vaccine recipe or whatever. Or no, it's like, well, we can't make an egg. We can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs. That feels like the sentiment of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's big pharma and yada yada yada.
Yeah. They like, did you see that Simpsons clip going around on YouTube? Like, I would love to play it here, but I know it'll get claimed, so that's why I'm not playing it. But it was like this one YouTube like Simpsons episode where like Dr. Hibbert was like, running after Bart trying to
Yeah, with the
vaccinate
shot.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
I've
was
actually
like,
used I use a couple clips from that episode in my videos.
I've never even seen that episode because I stopped watching The Simpsons after like season 13. I think that was like the last one that I ever watched. So that's like afterwards. Do you know what that episode is about, or like which episode it is?
Well, like any Simpson episode, like it takes like the
It's
halfway
just like
point to actually get in, gets
like
the
why do you have
the
to
real
get a
plot.
shot? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I think it was immunizations for
Oh, okay.
school. I'm assuming, or it was a flu shot or something. I don't know.
Okay. I love that, like the end of that where he's like, "Oh, why don't you sign here?" And like, "Oh, look, you decided like a waiver saying you're not going to sue me so long, or like malpractice waiver. Fuck you, bye."
Oh, I don't think I saw that part. Well, I saw I think Barney's dressed up as the doctor,
Yeah, yeah,
and he
yeah. It's
pulls
right
Bart.
after that.
Yeah.
It's right
Oh,
after
okay.
that when he like makes Homer sign something, and then he's
Oh,
like,
okay.
"Ha, it was a malpractice thing that you waived your right to sue me for. Bye," and like runs away. Grand Hobbit of the KKK for $2. Oh my God, your name
Wow.
and your picture. That's mean. Hashtag graped by science. Oh my God. I don't even know what to say. You also sent another $5. Thank you so much. Says, what happens when somebody dies from your vaccine? Nothing, because they're immune from all liability. That's why they gave precisely 0 sheets. Yeah, that's very true. Unfortunately, there's shit all we can do about it. Unfortunately. Um
But they want you to get it, though. Like, you're a
you just
bad
gotta get
person if
it.
you don't get it. But yet,
This person
if you
says,
get something from it, well, we're not liable. Tough luck.
tough luck. Who controls science and making studies? That's a good question.
Pfizer.
um, Pfizer Inc. Don't allow comments by plebes. So here's my reply: Pfizer profits from boosters.
Nice.
People catching on. Pfizer has changed his face. Profits from boosters. This is where it's at right here for me. I
Yeah.
feel like, like just follow the money, people. Just
Mhm.
follow the freaking money. I read this thing yesterday. Yesterday, one of the I think it was a Canadian girl on Twitter. She had tweeted out that like people in Canada are starting to like get very concerned because apparently the Canadian government came out and said something about like how um how the like the booster, like you have to get a booster or whatever, or else like the vax pass is not going to be good or whatever. And I was like, they already said that like months ago. Like they said that when they were starting the vaccine passport thing. They said in their thing that like they were presenting to the public that this is only good as long as we say it's good, and we can change it at any moment if there's like other doses or other things that like are going to have to happen. And I'm like, are people like like I can't believe people are just not even informing themselves. They're like, okay, let's just like whatever, like I'll just go take the shots and then that's it. Just because
Yeah.
people are doing it just so that they can get the vax pass or like be able to travel
Right.
or whatever. And then they're like, they don't realize that, the two is never, it's never going to end. Like, it's not, you're bending the knee, but it's never going to end. Like you're now basically under the thumb for the rest of your life. Like it's not.
Yeah. And now we're at a point where I think sunk cost bias comes in. You
What
know what?
comes in? Can you say that again?
The sunk cost bias.
Oh, okay.
So that means like if you're like let's say like somebody is too like they're too far in, whether it's like an investment or a relationship.
Mhm.
Um the idea is like, well, I put so much into this, I can't
Yes.
back out now. Um and I think that's where people are gonna find themselves at. It's like, well, it's just one more shot. I've already gotten so many
Exactly.
shots. It's just one more. It's just one more. It's just one more. I still want my freedom.
Mhm.
Instead of like, if everybody took this stance initially at the beginning, saying like, thinking long term, because what they've gotten people in is short term thinking. It's like,
Mhm.
you get the shot, we'll give you your freedom. Like right now, you can have your freedom. It's right here if you want it.
Yeah, it's within your grasp.
Yeah. Like just get the shot. What's the big deal? When rather it's like if everybody just took the stance like, no, I still have my freedom right now, and we're just going to take a stand, and tough luck, you're going to have to deal with it. And they can't control, if it's 30% or 25% of the population, and they're using all these different tactics, of course, to make us a minority and to make us the conspiracy theorists, and just throwing everything in terms of manipulative language and propaganda. But if we had a much more vast majority taking a stand on this, they could never pull this off. But I think we're in that territory where people, that's their mindset at this point. It's just like, well, whatever, I'll just do what I got to do.
I know. I mean, I've
already
gotten into
so many
arguments
shots
with people. Like there's a few people who've told me like, well, like I took my 2 and like that's it. That's it for me. Like I'm not gonna take any more. And I'm like, well, it's not really up to you though. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's like, okay, you took your 2, but then what happens when you try to travel and they tell you, hey, your 2 is not good
You got to
enough
get
because
updated.
you got to get updated because your pass says that you got yours like 6 months ago or whatever. Your pass says you need to be updated, so you're not considered fully vaccinated. Like what happens then? Like you're just gonna be like, okay, like I'm gonna go get my booster then, or like are you gonna be like, okay, never mind, then I guess I'm not gonna continue with this, like it's just, I don't know, it's crazy to me. But this did come up. Natural immune federal workers lodge class action suit against Fauci Walski over COVID-19 vaccine mandate. Federal workers who have recovered from COVID-19 have filed a class action lawsuit against Dr. Anthony Fauci and other government officials over a COVID-19 vaccine mandate that still forces them to get the jab. The government not only failed to offer a carve-out exemption for natural immunity workers or those who have recovered, but neither President Joe Biden's executive order nor the guidance explaining it outlines why naturally acquired immunity isn't an acceptable alternative to vaccination, the lawsuit states. By the way, Mama Susan, all of our opinions are our own. We are not medical experts. And everyone in the chat, please make sure you talk to your doctor or physician before you decide to do anything or do whatever you want to do.
Do what you think is best for you.
Yeah.
I mean, do your research and do what you think is best for you.
Yeah, don't take our opinions.
This is more about freedom
Mhm.
than anything, and it's the freedom to be able to choose what you want to do with your body, and it's also really about resisting, big government. Because
I know.
it's just they're way too powerful for their own good, and they're only going to just continue as long as we allow it.
Naked Fame says Mr. Anthony Fauci. I know I felt weird when I said doctor because fuck that guy. He's no doctor. He's like Dr. Kevorkian. Like he's like a freaking mad evil scientist is what he is.
Well, Nina, I saw that being the outstanding scientist that he was and is, but back in the 80s, I saw this clip of him saying that AIDS could be contracted just by being in close contact with somebody.
I know, I saw that.
Come on, like this guy was a genius then. He's a genius now, everyone.
He used to tell people to put on 2 condoms too.
Yeah. And then it just became 2 masks. He's pretty much just taken the same thing out of the AIDS playbook in a way. Before it was, the social distancing thing, close contact. And
can we play that video?
Sure.
Yay.
Let me
Douglas Nelson, thank you so much for the $2, says the immunity deal is bad, but a mandate works. And we had Grand Hobbit of the KKK. Thank you so much for the $2. Says, please tell me there's a Fauci as Napoleon picture. No, but did you see my thing that I posted that made him look like
Hitler?
Yeah.
I said the word.
I didn't even mean to do that. I was just watching like a young Ripa, Eric July's video. and like he had paused it, and the way that like the microphone was like centered like right below his nose made him look like Hitler. And I was like, dude, he looks like Hitler.
Whoever did the camera work on that, or whoever staged the camera, like really good job. I mean,
That was messed up. I was like, I mean, in a great way. Like I
yeah.
was like, this is like, you know, like because I'm a big like believer that the universe like sends you messages. And I was like, the universe is telling us this dude's Hitler. Watch out. Um, I don't think there is a Fauci as Napoleon picture, but somebody should make one. Also, Grand Hobbit says for $2, thank you. Fauci would have to wear lifts to dress as Napoleon. That's also true. Okay, let's watch this video.
Starting to see, as we're seeing virtually as the months go by, other groups that can be involved, and seeing it in children is really quite disturbing.
When you say other close contact, give me some examples.
Well, for example, if the close contact of a child is a household contact, perhaps there will be a certain number of cases of individual who are just living with and in close contact with someone with AIDS or at risk of AIDS, who does not necessarily have to have intimate sexual contact or share a needle, but just the ordinary close contact that one sees in normal interpersonal relationships.
God, this guy's such a hack.
I would have showed the remainder of what he said. I just couldn't. That was the clip. So, but yeah, I mean, back in the 80s, when they didn't know ish about AIDS, here's Fauci saying like, yeah, close contact, good enough to get you infected. But believe him. I mean, how could he be wrong again?
This dude is making so much money, like hand over fist, man. Hand over fist. But yeah, so like it's good to see stuff like this though. I mean, I don't know if anything will come of it, but it's an interesting lawsuit. I guess it all depends on what the judge rules, and if they can get some sort of ruling that has to do with, natural herd immunity. I mean, this is one of those things though where it can like really hurt as well, because if you get the opposite, then other states can use that as a thing of, because it sets precedence. So I don't know. It's very tough.
I suppose the argument could be, and it seems like, of course, from Israel, that natural immunity is better. It's more effective, but I suppose there could be an argument that natural immunity will wane, just like every year, probably with the flu or whatever, right?
Apparently the vaccine wanes. You need a booster shot every 5 seconds.
So they're just going to say, and again, I totally disagree with it all.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to like think of what will their argument be. And so we'll be to the point where they'll say like, well, you might as well just get vaccinated, or at least by this time frame.
That's the other thing I heard today was I heard like I think Germany has now said that they're no longer vaccinating anyone over or under the age of 30 with Moderna. Like that's like Moderna's like kind of been ostracized in Europe. Like I think a whole bunch of countries have like now banned it for under 30.
Okay.
So
too
like
many issues.
Yeah, too many issues. There's a lot of issues happening. I'm not even going to talk about the issues, but just issues happening. And so they're saying like, we're not gonna administer that anymore for people under the age of 30. Meanwhile, in the US, they're trying to administer that shit to,
5 to 11-year-olds.
Yeah,
right?
5 to 11-year-olds. So I'm like,
I mean, freaking injecting babies once they come out the womb.
It's freaking insane. I saw, oh my God, I saw this picture today on what's it called? On Twitter of some lady who'd like basically like vaccinated her kid, and she's like, this is the closest that he came to tears, but he was so brave. And I was like, oh my God, like it's so sadistic. Like I can't watch these people like vaccinate their kids. Like, I feel so weird when I see pictures like that. I'm like, it like makes me feel sick. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I got these like, oh, look at me, look at my kid being vaccinated, and I'm like, oh my god, like,
Yeah,
I
using
don't know
your
what to
kid
tell
for
you.
internet clout is like the most
It's
like,
gross.
yeah, you're a special kind of person. I'll just put it that way. Like
It's like
the one person that took well, they talked about basically offering up their kid for trials,
yes,
experimental trials.
yeah, I saw that.
Like it's one thing to volunteer yourself, but to
Mm-hmm.
volunteer your kid,
It's a whole
you're
other different story.
yeah, like there's something wrong with you. I don't know.
I just don't understand because it's like there's been literally like no long-term studies done, and people are like, oh, let's just vaccinate our kids. Like, it's our kids, it's your
Hey,
kids. Like,
Fauci's such a wonderful guy, Nina. I mean, how could he
sure
be
is.
wrong? He's the patron saint of um health.
You just called him a patron saint.
Oh, that's what people think of him as. Well, yeah.
God, that's so gross. I'm trying to see if I can find this picture.
Something's wrong here in the world.
I'm like scrolling down to see if I can find that picture of the kid getting vaccinated because it was so like, ugh.
Yeah, Naked Fame, you're right. He is science personified. Like it's so funny because it really is just faith. Like it's a cult. And whatever Fauci says, these people, as much as they called Trump like a cult leader and his followers a cult, it's so funny how people don't, they're
They
going to
just
say,
project.
yeah, it's like, but Fauci, like he believes in science. Like that's the difference. Donald Trump didn't believe in science. Fauci does. It's funny because like even the idea of like believing in science, like the idea of belief, like there's faith there.
There's
You
a very
can't
religious tone. Yeah.
you can't get away from the fact that as much as they want to present it as an empirical case, everybody's got data, everybody's got science, and it's all about how you want to construe it and what you want to put out there and what you don't want to show everybody.
Have you heard about how Newsom has disappeared?
Yeah, I guess he did come back. I think it was today.
Oh, he did?
Yeah,
I didn't hear about
I think
it.
he gave I didn't see it, but I think he gave a speech after his wife went off on some people on Twitter and then deleted her comment.
I saw that. I also saw that he was at that crazy wedding. Like people like he wasn't like he had a mask on and everything, but people were like pointing him out. Did you see that wedding? Like the Ivy Getty's wedding or whatever that happened on, I think
No,
it
I
was
didn't.
Sunday.
I didn't.
Well, I mean, I didn't. I just saw the pictures of it, and like it was like this grand. Oh my god, you didn't see that with like Nancy Pelosi as a freaking minister or whatever? Like she like married them.
Mm-mm.
Oh god, I'm gonna have to show you this. Grand Hobbit of KKK, thank you so much for the $2. Says, immunity doesn't wane, viruses mutate, and that's very true. They do.
Sure.
And then
I mean, eventually it's the same. It's the same thing, though, right? Like they'll say, that will
both
be.
happens.
I mean, that will be the argument. Is
Mhm.
that well, the virus is gonna mutate again, so you have to, just get the shot.
And again, thank you for another $2, Grand Hobbit of the KKK. That's such a weird name. They give the rich different shots. It's all for show. It is. They also like used to treat people. Well, still probably do in Congress with the horse dewormer thing. I'm not even going to say the name. I'm just going to call it horse dewormer. I'm sure everybody knows what I'm talking about. And if you don't, just go look it up. It's what Joe Rogan used. See, this is how we have to talk now on YouTube.
Talking code.
The talking code. Because
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. Yay. We're like in freaking China. I just saw this posted by, as I was trying to find that kid picture, but I couldn't, but I found this from Gary. Newsom extends COVID state of emergency in California for third time, will take state past 2-year mark under the pandemic order. Governor Gavin Newsom today extended the third time the state of emergency in California related to the threat that COVID poses. Today's executive order stretches declaration through March 31st, 2022, at which time it will have been in effect for more than 2 years. Newsom's first declared state of emergency on blah, 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 blah. So that is what's going on there.
LeBron James commented on Kyle Rittenhouse's his moment in court.
Oh, what did
Here, you want
what
me to
did
share it?
LBJ have to say? Yes, let's see it.
Right. I don't think this was very smart of LeBron, but then again, he's not. It's not necessarily.
Oh my God. Grand Hobbit of the KKK. Thank you for the $2. Says, ha, welcome to my world. Can't even light a cross. Oh my God. You're mean to Anna. I don't know who you are, but this is mean. Okay, what? Okay, what tears? I didn't see one man knock it off. That boy ate some lemon heads before walking into court. Oh my God, LeBron.
Yeah, here's the clip. Do we want to watch it?
Yeah, let's see it.
If you guys
Just
haven't
in
seen
case
it.
people in the chat, if you haven't seen what happened
Yeah.
earlier, this is
I mean, let us know what you think. Do you think
Yeah,
this is a legit break? Like I guess break. I don't know if you call it a breakdown or
yeah,
but
breakdown. Well, he cried, so let's see.
yeah.
There's no audio. I don't hear anything.
It's quiet.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why. Yeah, everything's turned up, so it's just
Okay. No worries.
you might hear a little bit more.
Oh yeah.
I think that's a tough.
Oh man, he was reliving that moment. Like it's like you could see it. This is why he's like breaking down. And his mom is there, and his mom was crying. It was emotional.
Yeah, I mean, for people that are saying that he's not crying, I don't know. I think this is a difficult thing to. I mean, I just think it's a difficult thing to pull off if you're as much as yeah.
Of course, freaking LeBron James has to chime in. Shut up, LeBron. Oh my God. Revenge of the Neanderthal. Wait, what? Netherrealm. Revenge of the Netherrealm. Thank you so much for the $2. Says Dark Council Raid. Shout out to Nina and Johnny. Oh, thank you. And Demogenize saying the same thing for $2. Thank you. Hello to you. For the Raiders, we're just talking about LeBron James's comments saying, what did he say again? Can you read it? For those
What tears? I didn't see one. Man, knock it off. That boy ate some lemon heads before walking into court. At 3 laughing emojis.
That's freaking insane. Grand Hobbit says you can't fake those involuntary spasms. Exactly. Like he's like reliving that moment. Like he's like shaking and his body is like, that's why he didn't even put his arm down. That's why his arm was stuck like that. It's like, oh my God.
A lot of people were putting the LeBron crying emojis or
oh
not
the
memes in the comments.
Oh,
and,
okay. Go back to that. We want to see that. Grand Hobbit of the KKK. Thank you so much for the $2. Says his defense is worse than the prosecution. It's true. I agree with you on that. I mean, maybe not worse, but they need to do better.
If he's faking it, we better call Juwan Howard.
Yeah, you would know, LeBron. You're the biggest faker ever.
Yeah.
I guess takes one to know one.
This guy. Like what a flop.
Dude.
He wasn't even anywhere close to that guy. He's trying to act like he got Elwood or something.
Everybody calls him LaFlop James.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love that. This you?
Yeah.
Oh my God. King Flop. That's right. Everybody knows. LaBum. Oh my God. That's funny.
Lamau here.
I like how he's got the like number 23 on his thing. That was fun.
Oh yeah. This is.
Him
Have you
and
ever
his
seen
book.
this clip of? Was this? I think it was Malcolm X. He's reading a biography, and
Yeah,
he
like
has
the
no
first
idea what the
page.
hell he's talking about.
Taylor, you want to follow up? Yeah. So you're holding the autobiography of Malcolm X along with Alex Haley. I don't know how far you are into the book, but what's
I can barely hear it.
Yeah, for some reason the audio's.
Lamau.
Yeah. Anyways, he just bullshits. He doesn't know anything. He has no idea what he's always on the first page of every book he's reading.
I know there's so many that he's done that so many times where he's like, oh yeah, I'm reading this book. And it's like, he's on the first page.
Yeah, it takes a faker, right, to know one. But in this case, I think it's more projection.
Yeah, Naked Fame, that's what I'm talking about. The compilation of the LeBron reading the first page. Have you ever seen that? Let's see if I can find it. Okay, here it is. That was fast.
No, somebody said faker than a Travis apology. Ouch.
Who?
With Travis Scott with the his concert where it was like
my
7 or
God.
yeah, and he's he had his video where he was like apologizing or whatever.
I saw that. It didn't seem very real to me, but I don't know. So this is it. LeBron loves reading the first page of books. He's just like, he's always on the first page. He's just such a faker.
Yeah.
Thank you, Grant Hobbit for $2 says, what's the biggest thing LeBron has had in his bot? What's the biggest thing LeBron has had in his bot? I don't know what you mean.
In his butt, I think is what they mean.
Oh God. I don't know. I know one of his teammates slept with his mom. He wasn't very happy about it. Do you remember when that happened? And then he punched the locker.
I remember you telling me about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a grown woman. It's weird, but
his own head.
I mean, I suppose the mama jokes get real, when he starts making them.
Oh my God. Wow. Okay, hold on. There was like something else. Oh yeah, this hack made a comment today. See this? COVID-19 will not be the last pandemic threat the world faces. I spoke to the Grand Challenges community about ambitious innovations agenda. We need to end this crisis and be ready to respond to the next. Replies turned off. So I said, you couldn't even keep Windows virus free, you hack. Everyone hates you. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And I mean that.
It's this whole idea of it just being a natural occurrence, but yet they're telling us like, hey, it's going to happen again. Well, I mean, I'm willing to believe there's going to be a pandemic about once every 100 years of this magnitude.
Mm-hmm.
I could believe that. There was one about 100 years ago. I mean, there was one in 1969. They didn't do a million.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was an easy number for me to remember. That's why I'm always citing it. But it's 1 million people died. They didn't do anything. Life went on. So yeah, I mean, I can believe a pandemic's going to come around, every 50, 100 years. But if you mean to tell me that we're going to get another pandemic in the next 10 years, it's like, well, why? That shit hasn't happened before. Like, how are you guys so sure unless you are, again, I'll put on my conspiracy theory hat. If you're so sure, it just makes us wonder, did you manufacture this virus in the first place? In a little place from, Wuhan. Come on.
He's not admitting to shit. By the way, this is all
Fauci.
speculation.
I want to talk about Fauci on that.
This is all speculation, Mama Susan. We're not saying anything happened or didn't happen or whatever. I don't know. Did you hear what Matthew McConaughey said?
No.
All right.
I suppose
So Matthew McConaughey comes out against vaccine mandates for kids.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him.
He does want to be a Texas governor.
He does want to be the Texas governor. That's right. Matthew McConaughey says that while he's received his COVID-19 shot, he's against mandating that his children get vaccinated. I couldn't mandate having to vaccinate the younger kids. I still want to find out more information. Thank you, Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
Oh my God, I have that clip. Hold on. I have that. If I can find it.
Don't worry, everyone. The joke will still be funny.
It will. I promise. Oh, God damn it. I don't know where it is now. Damn it, I have.
Daddy's in prison.
This is not the right one.
I don't think that's it.
Oh, I don't know where it is. Oh, well, the time is gone. God damn it. Stop it. Stop it. The Food and Drug Administration authorized Pfizer BioNTech coronavirus vaccine for emergency use in children's ages 5 to 11 last week. He also said, I'm vaccinated. My wife's vaccinated. I didn't do it because someone told me I had to. I chose to do it. He told the Times, Andrew Ross, blah, blah, blah. Do I think that there's any kind of scam or conspiracy theory? He said, hell no.
The Academy Award winner has asked, no. Hell no.
Hell no. He doesn't think there's any conspiracy theory. Hell no. We all got to get off that narrative. There's not a conspiracy theory on the vaccines, he said. He's very adamant about that. But the 52-year-old McConaughey, 52, added of his children, right now, I'm not vaccinating mine. I'll tell you that.
Okay. I can roll with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Saying he's quarantined harder than his friends since the beginning of the pandemic last year. McConaughey, who's been a proponent of face masks, told Sorkin his family has relied on heavy amount of COVID-19 testing. I'm in a position, though, where I can do that, and I understand that not everyone can do it, he said. The performer also weighed in on the Lone Star State's controversial 6 weeks abortion ban, which is facing Supreme Court challenge, calling it overly aggressive. It doesn't seem what? Why is it 2 dozens? It doesn't
maybe
seem
he said
to,
2. Maybe he said it twice.
doesn't
Seem to open.
Seems like he's got like.
No, there's probably a typo.
Yeah, it's a typo. Seems to open up the room for a sensible choice to be made at the right time, he said. I believe in this. More responsibility, more personal responsibility to make the right choice.
Yes.
And we got to pick context with each situation and each person's situation, each woman's situation. I would like all of this to be applied to
Yeah,
the
that's more
vaccine
so what I was
mandate
like
as well.
yesing about was I'm like, oh wait, he's talking about abortion here, but that's like, hey, like let's be consistent across the board. You
Mhm.
know, it's like, well, I mean, Kamala Harris, she gave a talk about abortion. All the stuff she's saying, all this, you know, it's a woman's right to choose and
Mhm.
all this.
Mhm.
I mean, constitutional rights. It's like, well, why doesn't that apply to people who don't want to get the vaccine?
I don't
You
know.
know,
It's
like,
the
where's
most
the
bizarre
consistency?
thing. Yeah, it's the most bizarre thing. There's like literally it's literally like the same thing, but it's not. Like it's just like
I mean, I think the reality is that Roe versus Wade is not, it's not getting overturned. It's not being changed. And I know that's
Mhm.
not necessarily, well, I can't say that I know what exactly the specifics are on Texas if they are trying to overturn it, but I just think we're probably past any chance of that ever happening. So we might as well use that type of logic when it comes to the vaccines. Use
Mhm.
that argument. Well, you know, it's a my body, my choice. If they're going to use it, then we might as well use it too. I think when it comes to the abortion thing, like people that are against abortion, there's just other tactics that can be used. And I think it's, you know, trying to reach kids, when they're younger and you know, obviously like in the teenage years. I'm not saying like hit them with this like sex ed propaganda when they're 5, but I just think there's other tactics. So we might as well just use all the arguments that they have for abortion and just say, well,
let's apply
okay,
it to the vaccine.
yeah,
Yeah,
because they're all applicable.
I think
You
so
know,
too. I mean, it's a foreign entity in your body, right? Like that's what I don't know. That's what they say about like the kid. Like, oh, it's a fetus and it's not really a kid and
and I'm not saying that they're equal, because I do
no.
feel there is a big difference between them. And the fact is, like with an abortion, there's another life in the equation
Yeah,
other than your
one
own.
is life, the other one is not.
Yeah. So I'm not saying they're the same. I'm just saying we might as well apply, you know, I don't think abortion's going anywhere. So if they want to have it that way,
Hmm.
then we just take all their arguments
Yeah,
and
flip it.
say, yeah, well, you know, you got to be consistent here, because if you're going to say that for women, you know, I think it applies across the board for everybody.
Agree. Douglas Nelson, thank you so much for the $5. Says DM'd you both, you and John, an image of Fauci as Napoleon on Twitter. Okay, let me check that out. Let me see. Oh my God. This makes him look too heroic.
I mean, that Napoleon definitely has probably longer legs than the original, I imagine. But
Oh my God, you think so?
I don't
think
know.
Napoleon was like 5'11" or something.
Well, that's what I'm
right?
saying. I would think his feet. I would think his legs are just more stubbier, or maybe he's just
Probably.
a tiny guy. Yeah, he's not like a midget either. But I would say it's a decent sized leg on that horse in proportion. It's kind of tough to say.
That's hilarious, though.
It is funny.
Thank you, Douglas Nelson. That's hilarious. And then
Well,
we
I
had
mean,
Melissa Lord.
Fauci has been pretty triumphant up to this point.
That's
Unfortunately,
true. I like all the skulls. Like,
yeah.
yeah, it's very telling. Hey, Melissa Lord, thank you so much for the $5. Says, hey, Nina and John.
Hey, what's up, Melissa?
Sending us some emojis. No shot for me. I had enough. In the U.S. Army mandates are a violation of the Nuremberg Code and Geneva Convention. Love you all. And
Hey, love you too.
cheers to you. Much love to you, Melissa. It's really good to see you. I really appreciate that super chat and that you're here. Thank you. DJ Scandalous is here.
Hey,
I
what's
saw
up,
you,
DJ?
DJ. says, I'm going to dislike this stream for old time's sake before it disappears. Please do. Please, it's all good. I feel like let's see. I can still see it. Well, I can see it on my end.
Well, I went to the White House and they still had their dislikes up for some reason. So
Really?
yeah, I'll refresh. I'll see if they've.
Yeah, let's.
No, they're
let's
still
is
there.
Is it still there? I wonder if they're like, maybe YouTube's backing out on this. I don't know.
I'll click on. See, now I'm seeing the dislike button back on videos. Maybe they are backing out because I wasn't seeing it. I wasn't seeing it earlier, and now it's back. Weird. In a good way, of course.
This Springwood Slasher thinks I'm annoying and is leaving, but says, I love you, John. See you later. So say bye to your fan.
That's hey, that's all right. People think I'm annoying too sometimes. So
I am annoying. It's all
can't
good.
please everybody.
No. But thank you for being here. Please smash the dislike button on your way out.
Well, for the record, I don't think Nina's annoying. So
aw, you're so sweet. DJ Scandalous.
I'll just leave it at that.
I will tell you this. So I was taking a shower and I always listen to music when I was taking a shower. And the motherfucking Spotify, guess what song came on, DJ Scandalous? Guess what song came on? And I was like, I couldn't even get to it because I was like, I was in the middle of the shower. I couldn't get to my phone to turn it off. And I had to listen to that goddamn song. And I'm sure you know what song I'm talking about, DJ Scandalous.
What song was it?
The stupid Island Boy song.
What?
I'm an island boy. And the island boy.
Do they actually have like a real song?
Yes. And it came on my freaking Spotify. Yes.
So are they like legit artists?
Apparently no.
I just wasn't sure if these they were just some kids in the Caribbean, just
they're
chilling.
John, they're not in the Caribbean. Everyone's trying to figure out what island they're actually from. I think they're probably from Long Island. I don't think they're actually from a freaking
like
Caribbean.
A real island.
Yeah, I don't think they're from
they're from Rhode Island.
Oh my God, Island Boy. That's right. It's the reason I said that is because freaking DJ Scandalous introduced me to this whole thing. He kept posting about them on his Twitter feed, and I'm like, what is this? And then somehow it ended up on my Spotify, and I was like, I can't believe this is because Spotify gives you there's a playlist called the Release Radar.
Mm-hmm.
And so it gives you all the artists that you like or whatever, the kind of music you like. It gives you suggestions about the release, whatever new thing has been released. So it was on my Release Radar and I was like, is this really happening right now? Grand Hobbit, thank you so much for the $2 says, pop that coochie. I think that's what they say in the song.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm an island boy. Pop that coochie. I don't know.
That's deep stuff. It's great for our kids. The youth of this nation or any. Yeah, it's just man. This is exactly what the kids need right now. This thought-provoking lyrics. The Island Boys. Thank you so much, Island Boys. Appreciate it.
Oh my God. Rudy says, no, John is annoying. I watch for Nina. See, now the chat's in a fight about which one of us is more annoying. I like it.
I mean, I could definitely see how I'm more annoying. So I'm actually in agreement with some of you.
But I'm a woman. Women are way more annoying.
Don't make me say. I'm just gonna shut up.
Now I'm being the prosecutor. I'm trying to set the trap.
Yeah,
are you
that's
gonna fall
exactly.
in?
Yeah, you're trying to, get me in a double bind or whatever.
Hello. Grand Hobbit, thank you so much for the $2. Says, how do you feel about Lonely Island? I'm on a boat. I I don't have any.
Is that the song "I'm on a Boat"?
I don't know what that is.
Well, I'm thinking of the SNL.
This is going way over my head. I don't get it.
I think it was what was it, Andy Samberg? He's like making fun of like these rapid. He's like, I'm on a motherfucking boat.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I don't get it. Oh my God, that's one island that no one wants to be a part of.
Yeah. No.
No, no. Oh, thank you, Gary, who says that episode was experimental drugs to help Bart focus. I'm gonna have to track down that episode specifically and watch it. B Spin says, anyone remember Napster? I do.
Oh yeah.
I remember
Yep.
Napster. Napster like changed my life because before that I was so broke and I couldn't buy CDs, and I was like, yes.
I remember actually burning CDs.
Yeah, of course.
You could burn whatever you wanted.
Dude, I would burn so many CDs and then like make them like fade into each other.
Wow.
It's so fun.
Back in the day, did you ever do this? Back in the cassette,
Mhm.
the days of the cassette tape.
I did the
You
cassette
would
thing
make
too.
your own.
Yeah,
So I'd be listening to the radio and
I
I'd
would
wait.
tape the radio.
Yeah, I'd wait for my favorite songs to come on and make my own mixtape.
I would do that too, John.
Yeah.
My God, I can't believe it. We're like from a
We're
different
old.
generation now. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
we're old.
Well, I'll speak for myself, but it's
No, we're yeah, we're both old.
well, that's like when people would talk about the 8-track. It's had never seen one of those in real life. Well, I probably have at some point, but I've never heard one play.
Wait, an 8-track?
Yeah, you've heard of 8-tracks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that like that's the bigger tape one?
yeah,
Yeah. We had them in Iran.
yeah.
Grand Hobbit, thank you for the $2. Says yes, that's Lonely Island. Also, oh my God, I don't even want to say that part. Okay. Wow. Yeah, Melissa's right. Recorded it off the radio. You time it just right to cut out the DJ. Yep. And sometimes when you get the DJ, you would have to like rewind it.
Rewind a little bit back.
Yeah,
Stop.
and then
Yeah.
Yep. Oh
Yeah, we're definitely 90s kids.
Yep.
80s and 90s kids.
So I saw you upload this video, but I actually haven't seen the video because I wanted to save it for my reaction to this. I just saw this article going around and I was like, excuse me. And it was this. Brothel offers free sex session to patrons who get the COVID vax on site.
They are resorting to the
This is getting wild, man. This is getting real wild.
Like if we can't get you any of these, all these different ways we try, we're just gonna go this, sex. Like you're
sells.
gonna free sex.
They know sex
just
sells.
get the shot.
Did you change the video? Should we watch your edit or should we watch this?
I mean, mine, I cut out. Well, wait, this is probably from the New York Post, so I don't even know if this is the same video, but we'll see.
Prince saw this paint.
No, hold on. I have to refresh because it went to like some weirdo cat video.
Yeah, I basically cut out probably like 20 seconds. I cut out the owner talking. I left this clip in.
This guy's going to get some.
I feel very odd giving an interview like this, but I hope his wife's okay with it. No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
Damals haben wir gedacht, das ist eigentlich eine tolle Aktion, wenn wir gerade in unserer Branche mal so einen Maßstab
This guy looks
setzen.
so perverted.
Und jetzt haben wir eine tolle Impfstraße, wir haben einen guten Zulauf.
It's the context. He's in a brothel, but he was the owner.
God.
Also ich finde die Idee sehr
He's just
gut, dass
looking
wir
at the
da jetzt eine
camera.
Impfstraße haben im Fanpalast, weil es sagt ja eigentlich schon der Name von Fanpalast, dass wir ein bisschen Spaß haben können, wieder ein bisschen mehr zur Normalität zurückkehren können. Und ich finde das auch eine super Aktion, dass das da gratis angeboten wird. Es können Frauen, Kinder und natürlich auch Männer kommen.
This is being offered to children?
I don't think there.
And I also think it's great idea that this is being offered for women. Children.
So she's saying besides the men that come in, I'm assuming, you know. But
you mean like, is she talking about
she
the
works at a
vaccine
brothel,
being offered
Nina.
or the sex being offered to women and children? I don't understand.
No,
this.
it's obviously she doesn't mean that. You know.
I sure as hell hope not.
She doesn't work there for her brains, okay?
Oh my god.
Männer kommen.
What the hell did she just say?
She has a very special set of skills.
Oh my god. Wait, so this wasn't even in the US. This is somewhere else, I'm guessing.
No, this was Vienna, I believe. My video has a little, it actually has some here. It's got the guy talking that was getting the shot.
God, DJ. Bruh. So like what? Like people can have like crabs and every other disease and that's fine. As long as long as they get their COVID jab. VD is okay. Grand Hobbit, thank you so much for the $2. Says when I saw Henry Cavill, I jeezed in my pants. Oh my god. For another $2, he wants me to say jeezed in my pants. There you go. I hope you're happy. Unbelievable. Okay, let's see.
Are you sharing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come for the vaccine. Come for the vaccine. Stay for a little something extra. A Vienna brothel is providing COVID-19 vaccinations and giving those who take up the offer.
He's just looking at the camera. Like,
wow.
Like, I think he's smiling almost.
Oh, he's most definitely smiling because he's gonna go get some after this.
If they get the vaccine at the on-site clinic.
I would have gotten vaccinated anyway, but the 2G rule has certainly accelerated things a little. I think this is okay because we can achieve a better immunization rate this way, and that's necessary to end the pandemic at some point. I would have.
Did he just say that? Oh my god! Wow.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you know, I was gonna do it. I might as well get some free nookie.
Unbelievable.
I don't know. It's got to be an odd thing paying for sex. I don't know. Like,
it's weird.
There's a certain amount of like loss of respect that I think takes place when you do that. I just think that there is. I don't know if there's not. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Don't feel the need to.
So I don't even get it. So they're okay. So they're taking the jab, and the jab is, and then they're getting sex from sex workers for free for taking the jab.
30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
So do
I
they
wonder
actually?
I wonder how much 30 minutes costs.
Yeah, I was gonna. You know what? Let's go back to this article because does it specify like what you get for 30 minutes? Like, is it a blow job? Like, do you get to?
That's
you
a
know,
long.
is it?
I'd say it's a pretty long.
Do you go for like the home run here with the 30 minutes, or do they have rules?
They just say sex, and I guess according to Bill Clinton, like that could be a variety of things. Or, well, maybe it's the other way around.
I feel like we need to know some details though, so I'm going to this article to figure that out. Grand Hobbit, thank you so much for the 5, says making an entire bowling pin disappear when you sit on it isn't a special set of skills. Ouch. Damn. That's burn. Okay, let's see. Let's see what these people are doing. I'm very interested. Guess a spoonful of sugar really does make the medicine go down. God, these people. An Austrian brothel has devised an ingenious way to incentivize people to get the coronavirus vaccine by offering promised patrons a free fling with a prostitute of their choosing if they get immunized at the bordello. That sounds really fucking sanitary, right?
What?
Like,
Yeah, no.
that's where I'm gonna go to get my vaccine.
Well,
At a
I will
fucking
say,
brothel.
she looked like a pretty. I'd say she was a pretty attractive prostitute. I mean, she was wearing a mask, so it's tough.
She was
to
wearing a
say.
mask. I can't tell.
But I mean, I would say like she didn't look. She certainly didn't look bad. But
She could
let's
have
say
a giant cold sore on her mouth, John. She
Well,
could
they-
have a giant
it's very possible.
nasty goiter, like
Well,
right on her face.
Here's what I'm saying is that you could go in there and you get the jab and they put you in a dark room with someone. You turn on the light and it could just be like, it's just like they're it's like I like somebody that's just like hooked on dope type of prostitute,
Like a
missing
crackhead?
teeth. Yeah. I didn't want to
Yeah.
say it, but yeah.
Why?
Well, I want to, they're still people, Nina. They're still human beings.
I'm sorry.
And I don't want to say crackhead.
Okay. Eat Clay, thank you so much for the $2. Says talk about the money shot. Hey.
Oh, nice pun. Nice one.
We are very popular. Christoph Lilacher, director of the Fun Palsat in Vienna, told Reuters of the enticing new initiative, which they created in response to the recent government mandate barring the unvaccinated from restaurants. Get out of here. And other indoor areas amid an infection spike last week. The measure, known as 2G, had reportedly caused a 50% dip in the numbers of clients at the brothel, the Daily Mail reported. To help stem the financial hemorrhage, Fun Palsat is offering the COVID jab every Monday from 4 to 10 p.m. Through the end of November. Best of all, when you get inoculated on site, you will be gifted a free 30-minute session
with the lady of their choice. Maybe that's not the norm.
In the Skin Merchants VIP club with the lady of their choice. Think of this as a sexy nurse role-playing scenario, but with an actual medical care.
Yeah, this guy,
This
I will
looks
say,
like she's got blood on her face.
I know, I saw that. Yeah,
What
must
the
be like a Halloween. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think this is like certainly this guy's got business sense because he knows if he can get more clients in through the door, like they'll come back.
What? Where's she shoving this, dude?
That thermometer.
Yeah. Oh my.
Don't ask.
God. 200 Watt Studios. Thanks so much for the $2. I mixed up. Got Vax at Arby's for free roast beef. I'm dead.
That's funny.
Because I was thinking about all those New Yorkers that got fucking free cheeseburgers for their
They're like, man, we got gypped.
Oh my God, there's so many hookers in New York. They could have totally done this. Grand Hobbit, thank you so much for the $2. Says the catch is they get to film it and sell the tape. Oh my God.
I do wonder how much a half-hour session is, though. Like, how much does it normally go for?
How
much? If you had to chat, take a guess. Like, how much would a half-hour session? Because I'm assuming he's compensating his workers.
How do you get out of this picture? Oh, back. There we go. All right. Let's see what else is happening here. Many men, very many men with a migration background. I can't even read this. Okay. Many men, very many men with a migration background virtually refuse vaccination or don't even know that you can be vaccinated. Lemon Fund Placid manager of Peter Lascras, and since we are actually reaching this target group, we decided to set up a vaccination street here. Oh my god. And the cat house's inoculation station isn't open to the lecherous adult men. Isn't just see, it's open to the kids.
Okay, and the women too.
Boys as young as 14 are reportedly allowed to access to the clinic, provided they have an adult with them. With women are also being encouraged to head to the fun.
Yeah, because I'm sure
Plaza.
that's exactly where they want to go to get their shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they're going with their husbands. Sweetie, you go and you get yourself a vax, and then you can get yourself a hooker for 30 minutes. Because we're
Maybe they have an open relationship. It's like, you do that, that's going to give me the excuse to go and have fun.
Since the 2G rule, vaccinated or recovered, has been in place, there has been a real rush to get vaccinated, said Laskarin. We have had a lot of people come in today and get vaccinated. Damn.
And they're also getting something else.
Would you go and do this?
On pure principle, absolutely not. But I will say it's the most enticing offer that's been on the table so far. In terms
more
of
than
getting
more than
vaccinated.
the $1 million lottery or whatever they were giving out.
Yeah, the odds of winning that are astronomical. You know, this is guaranteed. You know, so.
Grand Hobbit wants to know, what do they give the kids? Do they also fork? I want to know this as well. This is a good question.
They'd probably get a lollipop.
Oh, God. I would have gotten vaccinated anyway, but the 2G rule has certainly accelerated things a little bit. Said one satisfied vaccine recipient known as Gerhard. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, you can always depend on the New York Post to have fun with it.
I know, right? And since an acquaintance of mine organized this action, I thought, let's go for it. He added, I think this is perfectly okay because we can achieve a better immunization rate this way, and that's necessary to end the pandemic at some point. Okay, how many other diseases are you guys picking up while you're doing this is what I want to know.
You know what's funny is if somebody goes in there and they just have like different disguises and they keep on getting shots.
Like they're wearing the different masks and shit.
They're like quadruple vaccinated. Like they're just they're just there for the free free sex.
They're just there for the free sex. Grand Hobbit for $2 says, how hot is the hooker though? Well, you can't tell because they got the mask on their face.
I mean, I'd say she's pretty good for a hooker.
I'm assuming she's gonna take this off for the 30 minutes so she can like blow the guy and things like that, but I don't know. The Bardello boss hopes that the initiative will help the country achieve 70 to 75% vaccination rate, requiring for herd immunity. Currently, only 63% of Austrians have received the jab, the national news reported. Fortunately, thanks in part to the new 2G restrictions, doctors have already administered 213,000 coronavirus jabs this week, the highest number since early August. Fun Plaza isn't the first organization to offer perk for inoculated in a much less sexy initiative program. On this side of the pond, Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf offered state employees 5 days of paid leave if they got the vaccine in a city-run site. That's definitely not as sexy. They didn't specify what the kids got or the women.
Yeah, I don't think they got anything.
I don't think they got anything either. I mean, I feel like that's a bit of a jip. I mean, the women at least should get something. Maybe they're gone in there for sex too. I don't know. Do they have male hookers?
Maybe.
I feel like there needs to be.
I highly doubt it. Well, I think that would have been mentioned if there was.
I would imagine so. 200 Watt Studios, thank you for the $2. Says, I got vaxxed at a new brothel called the 2G Spot. That's a good one. Good one. Grand Hobbit, thank you for the $2. If you want to be rich, sell disguises 2 blocks away. I know, right? Like people are walking in with different masks and like those the glasses with like the nose and the mustache. Like dude walks in there with that.
He's got like 5 or 6 marks on his arm. He's like, actually, you know what? We're gonna go on this one here.
You feel a little prick, then then they feel a little prick. Oh, I love the chat. The chat's going wild with this one. Yeah, different Halloween costumes. I mean, so many things could be done. Wow. Question: what is a brothel? Really?
It's basically a place where you go to have sex. You pay for sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A place where women exchange their goodies for goods and services. I mean, for money.
They say prostitution is the oldest. What is it? The oldest profession. Yeah,
it is.
Where's that come from, though? Like, why? Why?
I don't know. But it is though, because I mean, like, think about it.
Is it?
Yeah.
I would think like gardening or like
nobody cared about gardeners back then, John.
Having a farm and farming would be like the oldest profession.
Yeah, but
like
I'm sure
guys back then, it was just it could have been like a caveman thing. I don't know if these guys were necessarily paying for sex.
Google it. Is hooking the oldest profession?
It's just a saying, but I don't quite.
Where does it come from? Let's find out.
Yeah.
Grand Hobbit, thanks so much for the $2. Says women get their temperature taken. Oh God.
The earliest known record of prostitution dates back to 2400 BC in ancient Babylon. I don't think that qualifies as the oldest profession, if like that's the only evidence you got. So somebody asked, what is the oldest profession in the world? The earliest human ancestors began making stone tools about 2.6 million years ago. I mean, I don't know how they're so accurate with that number, but okay.
But does that mean it's a business though? Were they selling it?
It means that the tool maker is the oldest profession in the world.
Okay.
Well, that's what Google has spoken, I guess.
XXX came trying.
Well, then somebody asked, what is the oldest female profession? And that actually came up as prostitution.
There you go.
So, wow. I think Google.
If women were allowed to make tools, I'm sure we would have made tools.
It's like, I'm surprised they haven't removed that from, because it's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of, I feel like it's a little bit demeaning to women. It's like,
yeah, but that's the weird thing about the new neo-feminists, right? Because they're all about
liberation.
Sexual revolution and it's good to be with multiple partners and like all this like weird, I don't know, it's all the weird stuff. Thank you so much, Grand Hobbit, for the $2. Says some apes occasionally exchange the goods for food.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Good Lord. Okay, there was this other news as well about the vax situation, which I thought was a bit of a, I mean, it's not like I was shocked or anything, but I felt like, okay, so White House tells businesses to proceed with vaccine mandate despite court-ordered pause. And I feel like if this had been Trump that had done this, like everyone and their mom would have been like, fascist.
We might see some vaccine resistance.
I know, right?
I don't think anybody would be getting the vaccine.
Nobody would be getting it. I don't think anybody would.
I don't know about anybody.
I remember like when everybody was like, I'm not getting the Trump vaccine. Like,
yeah. How quickly they forgot that.
A lot of people were saying that back then because they
Yeah.
were like, he wanted to fast track it or whatever, and everyone was like, "I'm not getting a Trump vaccine."
Yeah.
But now the White House is stopped telling people to ignore court order paused. Like, isn't that the whole point of your justice system, or your entire point of how president can't do whatever the hell they want, and they have to wait for the court and the Senate and
I mean,
all
when it
that.
comes to the bills, Nina, you don't read them. Just find out what's in them after they get passed. That's don't ask too many questions here. Just go, just sheeple along.
Okay. Just go along, Jerry. Go along. Do you remember that episode?
It sounds familiar. But I mean, yeah, this is stupid. They're basically, it's the Dumb and Dumber, the scene where they put the red hots on the guy's hamburger,
Mhm.
and Lloyd, they're cracking up, and he asks a question, and Lloyd doesn't even answer. So he's like, "Why don't you eat up, and we'll tell you." It's just like that kind of thing.
Yeah, totally.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah, don't
Just do it.
don't just eat your burger, man. Eat your vaccine burger.
Testing the waters. I feel like they've already tested the waters, and now they know that people will just freaking let them do whatever. People are just giving them their freedom away, for no reason. I mean, well, there's reasons, but I don't know. I just thought this was hilarious. So I'll read the key points. The White House on Monday said businesses should move forward with the requirements despite the court-ordered pause. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit considered one of the most conservative appellate courts in the country halted the requirement Saturday pending review. Republican attorneys general in at least 26 states have challenged President Joe Biden's vaccine and testing requirements in 5 different U.S. appeals courts. The Biden administration asked the court to lift the pause Monday evening, claiming it could cost dozens of hundreds of lives per day. Uncle Joe wants you vaxxed.
Yep. Yes, he does.
So just do it.
Yeah. Don't
Maybe.
think about it. Just do it. Don't ask questions.
Do it.
Just do it.
Do it. There was also this bit of news. Hang on, let's see some of the comments here. Yeah. That's always the case. Yeah. There was also this, and I laughed. Canadian woman becomes world's first patient to be diagnosed with climate change.
Sometimes there's just too much stupidity in the world. I can't take it.
Why did you have to be Canadian, John? What the fuck? Why? This is terrible. A Canadian woman in her 70s.
A satire article?
No, it's for real. It's for real. A Canadian woman in her 70s could be the first patient to be ever diagnosed with suffering from climate change. Doctors said heat waves and poor air quality were responsible for the condition. Dr. Kyle Mayer, responsible for the diagnosis of the senior citizen from Nelson in British Columbia who suffered from asthma, said this was the first time in a decade that he wrote climate change as a cause of suffering.
Oh my gosh. Don't worry, folks. There'll be a climate change vaccine on the way.
The emergency
Pfizer's.
room doctor said she has diabetes. She has some heart failure. She lives in a trailer with no air conditioning. All of her health problems have been worsened, and she's really struggling to stay hydrated.
Well, that sounds like
okay.
Yeah, it sounds like the problem is you don't have AC. I don't think it's just
why is that a climate change
Yeah.
situation? Elijah Schaefer here said this is the funniest shit I've ever read. About my drink. Thank you for the comic relief. But on a serious note, they're trying to make climate change a health crisis so
Yeah.
that they can use COVID lockdown measures and QR passports to combat it, aka put you into submission. This is definitely I think this is definitely the case. But also I think that this kind of stuff started out way long ago. This did not start with COVID. To me, this started kind of during 9/11 with the whole Patriot Act and everything like that. So I think it's kind of this is just kind of the next phase of that whole new world order takeover or whatever you want to call it.
Sure. And I think falsely attributing, I mean, it's related, kind of not, but falsely attributing things that are diseases that aren't diseases. For instance, addiction. I just don't think addiction in itself isn't I don't think it meets the definition in terms of what actually is a disease. You know what I'm saying? It's addiction feels separate, but what it does is it alleviates the responsibility that people have to take responsibility for, it's it's not you have, it's the disease that you have. It's not your fault at all. In the same way, I'm sure it's well, I mean, granted, I mean, I know that this woman she probably doesn't have a whole lot of options where she can stay or where she can live, but obviously if she is living in a place that actually has air conditioning and, I mean, you think that socialist government of Canada
better living conditions. Yeah.
For crying out loud, you're probably giving up half your paycheck or she's probably giving up half her paycheck for a good part of her life. Should pay for something, for crying out loud. It's better Social Security or whatever they have over there.
This is definitely the next phase, though. So they started with COVID, and then they're not started. They started with Patriot Act, blah, blah, blah. Now, the COVID thing has taken them to the next step. And now climate change is going to be the next thing. They're going to be you're going to see this kind of stuff. You're going to see all sorts of doom and gloom news about climate change, and then them using mandates and certain things to basically, combat climate change. I could definitely see another lockdown coming. They're going to do another lockdown at some point and say that, our studies showed that the emissions fell when we had a lockdown because there wasn't enough travel and blah, blah, blah. So we need to lock down again between
They've been
this month
pushing
and
this shit
month.
forever.
Yeah.
This I environmental stuff.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid, we watched these in science class. We watched these documentaries on with all of these Hollywood actors and stuff. I mean, they were pushing that stuff early on.
Back in the day.
Captain Planet too, of course, was one big
I remember that
thing as well. And I'm not saying
I like Captain Planet, but it was total propaganda.
Yeah, and I'm not saying don't take care of the environment, we should just neglect everything.
Yeah.
But it's always been doom and gloom. They've always said 5-10 years out, there was a hole in the ozone layer that was, just going to expand. And then what happened with that? Apparently nothing. It's always been this way. They've always been just dooming and glooming, and nothing ever happens. I mean, it's almost like they don't want you to believe that you actually have an immune system that can fight off things. And they don't want you to believe that the earth is extremely durable and it can withstand, some of the stuff that we put it through.
What did you just say?
How dare you?
Stop making sense.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Greta. I mean, who am I? I mean, you're 16 years old. I mean, you're brainwashed. Of course. Let's just listen to you.
She's not 16 anymore.
That would be the absolute wisest thing to do.
I think she's what?
She was probably 16 in that video.
Yeah, she was I think she's 20 now or something. I don't know.
Well,
I just read Elon Musk sells $1.1 billion dollars of Tesla stock. According to
Not
a
a bad day.
finding released Wednesday by the Securities of the Exchange Commission, the Tesla CEO sold about 934,000 shares for just over $1.5 billion. On Saturday, Musk ran a poll on Twitter asking people whether or not he should sell some of his Tesla shares. Much is made lately of unrealized gains being the means of tax avoidance. So I propose selling 10% of my Tesla stock, he said on the 3 million something users who voted in the poll. 57% said that they supported the proposal, and so he sold.
Well, it's a nice chunk of change.
It's a very nice chunk of change.
Yeah, it's almost difficult to even fathom how much that is.
Like
a million is like, when you think in terms of a million, it's actually not. You can actually comprehend it. It's still a lot, but when you get into the billions, I mean, that's a whole nother
next
set
level.
of zeros. Yeah.
There was another thing that I saw that goes along with our talk about climate change bullshit, because there was another thing that they put out. Oh, here it is. This was dumb as fuck. So ABC News came out and said 70% of Americans experiencing climate change anxiety and depression, survey finds. And I was like, yeah, because you guys are always up to doom and gloom and fear porn. If this is the case, if I believe that their stupid survey is real, which I don't know.
70% is a very even number. I mean, what they do, like, go to California and survey 10 people.
Oh my god. But I mean, but I feel like even if this is true, it's probably because of all the bullshit we hear in the news all the time. Like the environment's this and the environment's that. Not that I don't think that I actually do. I believe in climate change. I actually think that it's happened. It's a thing that's happened. It's happening all the time. It's always been happening because of, as above, so below. So like if things happen above, they will happen below. So like if we get sunspots or like whatever, everything is connected. So everything's going to change. It doesn't necessarily mean we're all going to die because of it. But the earth goes through
We've had
changes.
ice ages.
Yes,
we've
like
had
ice
hotter
ages.
times. I mean,
exactly.
Things fluctuate. They don't always stay the same. It doesn't
No.
necessarily. I mean, the funny thing is they used to say it's, things were hot. It's like, oh no, it's global warming. Well, then things got really cold. Winters got colder, and all of a sudden you start hearing like climate change because their theory doesn't really hold up to the reality of experience.
Well, it used to be global warming. So like the
Right.
global warming thing was like this
Things are
big
getting hotter.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like when they realized, nobody's buying this global warming thing, let's start calling it climate change because it makes more sense, because they started to get colder. A lot of places started to get, experience colder weather and colder winters, and much colder winters than they expected, because they thought everything was going to get hotter. And then they're like, you know what? Maybe never mind. Maybe it's not that. Hey, it's Ryan Kinnell. What's up,
Hey,
Brian?
what's up, Brian?
Free Kyle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's another thought too, in terms of like orbiting the sun. I don't, even the sun, in terms of like the constancy of how hot it's burning.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's burning at the same, at the same exact, degrees and percentage all the time. I mean, we're measuring it from thousands of miles out. But even that too, I mean, nothing is supposed to be static, this assumption that everything should be like the same and not change. It's like, no, it's just not like it's nature. I mean, it's pretty amazing that it works as well as it does. But again, you just look throughout history, the earth has gone through changes. Like, it happens.
Yeah.
It's
It
a
does.
lot of this shit's political, and they're making a political thing. I don't even know if these people necessarily even believe it and buy it themselves. Some of them.
Speaking of making everything political, you retweeted something, and I literally died when I watched it. I was like on the floor. So thank you for that. It was this.
Oh, okay. Oh, real quick though, before we move on, I do want to say subscribe to Ryan Kennel. Subscribe to his new channel,
Yes.
Patriot Outpost.
Patriot
Subscribe to his main
Outpost.
channel too.
Kaylee, I think you have a wrench. Please, if you can, drop Ryan's links in the chat. Thank you. Agent One also. Thank you so much for modding. I love you guys. I love my mods. Mods in the chat are amazing. Thank you for all that you do. Grand Hobbit, thank you so much for the $2. Says Fox News Republicans called it climate change first. Ah, did they? That's interesting. No problem, Ryan. Love you, man. Ryan's amazing. Did you see his earlier tweet? He said he made 2 videos and he had his mic muted.
Oh, I've done that before, especially doing the commentary stuff. Like I've done that. It sucks. Yeah. Especially if it's like a really, you feel like you made a pretty good
you're
video.
on a roll and you're like, yeah. Especially like someone like Ryan when he's like, when he goes on a roll and he's like goes in his rants and then all of a sudden it's like, dude,
devastating. I've had that happen probably at the very least 3 times. And you're like watching you once you put the video in the editor and you just see it's a straight line and there's
and you're like,
no sound. It's just like
it's like a nightmare. Like your heart drops and you're like, oh no. Yeah.
Especially if it's like a 15-20 minute video too. It's just like, oh.
That sucks. I've had that happen to me too. I did it like once and I was like, are you kidding me right now? Like it was terrible.
Yeah, you look at your microphone and
hard.
it's like what is it? The lights blinking instead of it being on. Yeah, not fun.
Not fun at all. So let's have a good laugh and watch this. This was good.
First time I think, acting that I had put on a costume and really felt like the character. I think, whether you're playing a god or a human or whatever, you make it real.
She's just so self-involved.
I love this.
She has no social graces, let's put it that way. And she does a lot of horrible things. She wants to keep her lifestyle going.
But it was all a kind of a mistake that he's got so that he believed in something that wasn't actually true. So he's this kind of angry, nasty, scary person who lives in this horrible old buggy place.
It's so much fun not to think about anything but just this crazy character. I wanted her to be a really despicable and just not very nice woman, definitely.
He has a questionable character and questionable integrity, coupled with a sort of crippling self-knowledge of his relative lack of talents.
I met Mrs. and President Obama, and it was just, I thought that I was gonna like vomit all over them because they've sadly done some damage.
I'm not a man that enjoys wearing a dress. For me, as an actor, it's like if somebody goes to Walmart to work, they put on their uniform. For me, that's putting on the uniform, going out and making people laugh.
I will eat my neighbors.
As kids, as you do, you play cowboys and Indians, and never once did I want to be the cowboy. Never once. I wanted to be the Indian.
What was the question?
I'm attracted to young people, boys, girls. I mean, my 2 favorite groups are the elderly and the young.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, this was so good on so many levels. I can't even. There was so much good in there. I died.
The Daily Wire put out a tweet asking who they should hire.
Yeah.
And Power Ty put himself out there. That was just a really good video.
I love it. He's like, you should hire the guy who made this. Also, I'm the guy who made this.
Yeah, he can make some great. I would love to see him actually hire him. He was the guy who originally did the More You Joe.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, he was
Let's
the
see.
guy who
Well,
created
put
that.
another way, it makes no sense. Come on, man. COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, it's taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives. I mean, you think about it. Come on, man. My grandpa was named Ambrose Finnegan. Come on, man.
Nice.
Oh my god, this guy's so good.
Oh. Come on, man. Corn Pop was a bad dude. Come on, man. Buy a shotgun.
What?
Come on, man. I'm running as a proud Democrat for the Senate. Come on, man. I'm sick and tired of smart guys. Come on, man. Rock and I think it's a right for people to have bad health care.
Oh my god.
That's a classic.
Anybody who can throw coal into a furnace can learn how to program, for God's sake. Come on, man. I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure, isolate, and punish China.
Oh my god, I can't
Come on,
breathe.
man. I tell you what, I'm so darn proud. And those poor people who have lost, anyway.
He just gives up.
Come on, man. Donald, this is president. Come on, man. Donald Trump's presidency. Guess what? You know. Come on, man.
Oh my god, I love this guy. That was so good. Oh my god, did you hear about the whole what happened last week with Joe Biden?
There's always something
when
happening
he
with
met
this guy.
the Duchess of Cornwall.
Yeah, I made a video on it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep. The
He
gas
pooped
that was
himself.
passed.
Oh no, wait. Yeah, he well, we don't know if he pooped himself
We
or
don't
not.
know.
I think he
Yeah.
pooped himself again.
Who knows?
I don't think it was just farting. I think he pooped himself. She was talking about it. A lot apparently. Like she couldn't stop talking about it. Tootie Pants. Tootie Pants Biden.
I mean, it probably doesn't happen every day where she meets a leader of a country and they just pass gas on her.
Yep. Oh, I wanted to show you this because you didn't see this. Because there's a really good picture of Nancy Pelosi at this wedding. And that's where Gavin Newsom was spotted. Was at Ivy Getty's wedding. Which is insane. Like this wedding, John, is freaking next level. And like during a recession, when you see something like this and you're like, it's like a pandemic and people are like all struggling, and then you see like this insane wedding and you're like, these people really live in another world, like
they do.
completely different.
Yeah. Like some of them have not known any other world than
No.
that too. So
No.
they very well might have a sense of entitlement and think that they're, entitled to certain things and other people are not.
Okay, here I found it. There is a lot of pictures on this though, so let me try and go to the part because it's like 100 pictures on this. So let me try and find the appropriate picture. I mean, her wedding dress was kind of insane. Hold on, let me I'll share this real quick so you guys can see what I'm seeing. So at least you can be somewhat entertained. That's the bride.
Wow.
Yep.
Definitely not your average wedding dress.
No, not at all.
Good photos.
Really pretty photos. I mean, I actually enjoyed the photos, but when you see the wedding,
This photographer, you know, he or she costs a pretty penny.
oh yes. Oh yes. I'm just trying to get to the ceremony here. Cause that's the most amazing picture. I was like, what is that?
When did
Nancy Pelosi?
when this wedding take place?
This was Sunday.
Oh, the turnaround on those pictures was pretty fast.
Yeah.
Anybody who knows like editing, like usually it's about like a couple months.
So this
before you
is
get 'em.
this is like the procession, and then this is Nancy.
Oh, she was the one that married him off.
Yeah. There she is. I saw this going around on Twitter and I was like, what is happening? Because I had no idea what was going on. And I just saw people like tweeting this out. And I was like, why is Nancy Pelosi like marrying some chick? And why does she look like she's like in some sort of cult? Because like her wedding dress looks like very culty. Like,
yeah.
it kind of
What's the theme
reminded me
here?
of Midsummer. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah.
with like their flower things and everything.
Well, this looks like gosh, I'm trying to put a finger on exactly what the theme would be. Because it kind of looks a little hint of like The Crown or something like middle.
It's
like
supposed to be
medievalish.
fairy, I think. Like that was
Okay.
like the theme, from what I understand, is supposed to be fairy. Like from what I read above. It
Yeah,
was,
this wedding was
fairy.
a fortune.
Oh yes. This is when she got married. Her bridesmaid or maid of honor. And then some of the guests, and this is the cake. Look at this freaking cake.
Is it under that thing?
No, this is the cake.
Wow.
They like cut it. What the hell is this guy wearing? There. See, they're cutting it.
Okay.
Wicker Man themed. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Satanic.
Yeah.
Illuminati. It definitely looked very cultish. Like I was like this doesn't look normal. Like
There's
it's
some
just
power. Maybe there's some powerful people there, and they're marrying their kids to each other. You know, keeping the wealth in the family.
well, that's
and-
exactly what is happening. Or well, not really actually, because he's like a pauper apparently. Apparently, he's a photographer, and she's like an heiress to like the Getty, basically oil. She's like an oil heiress.
Yeah, he's
And
not
she's
going to have
married.
any say
He's
so. And
nobody.
he's not going to have any say in this relationship.
No, he's like a nobody.
I mean,
And
he's
he's
gonna
marrying
he's
into
gonna
his
have some
family.
money, but
He's
you know,
gonna
in
have-
terms of like who's making the decisions, and he's
I
not
hope
gonna have any say.
I hope she's making him sign a prenup because she's like a freaking billionaire heiress and he's like a nobody. I would be like, bitch, sign this shit. Because I ain't giving you any of my
Wow. Now we know.
I ain't
Now
giving
we
you
know
any of
how.
my money.
Now we know how Nino would treat people if she was.
If I was as rich as she is and I'm marrying some sort of fucking nobody, I'd be like, yeah, dude,
Wow.
you're like you're
Nobody.
Yeah,
Ooh.
well, if you've got no money, like how do I know that you're not marrying me for my money? How would I know that?
Well, to say nobody, you know, to call somebody a nobody.
You know what I mean.
Well,
He has no money. She
so
has
does
all
that
the
make
money.
so that makes him a nobody?
Well, yeah, because she has all the money and he has none of it.
Well, that doesn't make somebody a nobody.
Well, you know what I mean, though. For her, he's a nobody. Like, how does she even meet him? How do you even meet
maybe
a
I don't
photographer?
know, at a bar, or
They
maybe
met
at
in
a
school.
maybe at a wedding. You know, maybe he was the
They met-
photographer there.
Yeah, they met like at a party. Actually, I read their stupid story. It was kind of romantic. I hated it. Nina's a true romantic. I'm just saying, when you're that rich, you got to protect yourself.
No, I agree. I just don't. I wouldn't say like, yeah, he's just. Oh, he's, he's a nobody. Or like if there was a woman that, if it was the opposite end of the spectrum and the guy's rich and she doesn't have any money. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't think that she's a nobody.
This is exactly what I meant, Spike and Madness. In that world, like, to them, he's a nobody. Like, I don't even know how her mom let her marry him. Like, because in those circles, like, you
Yeah.
have to be like, an heiress. Like, all the people at their wedding, like, all these people,
Oh, they're probably all
all these
millionaires.
weird these people are all royalty. Like, there's like a picture
Or
of like
the
these
kids
people. Look,
of wealthy people.
Constantine, Alexasius of Greece and Denmark, and blah blah blah. The Prince of Odysseus, blah, like, these are all like princess and prince, and you know what I mean. Like, these are like the top of the top. They're not even like Hollywood elite. These are like actual elites. Like, they're way above the Hollywood elite. Like, these people are like royalty elite. That's why I'm like, that's why I say that. Not that generally speaking, I would think he's a nobody. It's just, to them, that's the category he would fall in, because he's not rich, as rich as they are. They would even think celebrities are nobodies, which is why it's surprising to me that her best friend is this girl, because she's an actress. I knew her. I
Yeah.
was like,
well,
but she's like the only one that's
but-
there, other than the person officiating them. That's like, and like apparently Gavin Newsom, but that's pretty much the only people I even recognize at this wedding, because everybody else was like, super elite rich.
Jay Chapinski says he's a famous photographer.
Yeah, he is supposed to be a famous photographer.
Well, he's probably. I mean, granted, he's not. Well, I don't know. I mean, if he's really good at what he does, he could be a millionaire himself.
Not oil rich, John.
Not oil rich, but rich.
Yeah, probably.
Like
200 Watt Studios for $2 says, we just don't marry you for your money, your body too. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like these people don't see him as anybody. I don't think they see any of us as anybody.
Well, do we see? I mean, are we thinking about them at all either? I don't think. I think anybody outside of our personal circles, like, yeah. I mean, in that sense, like, how often, do you really? I don't know. Do you really care about other people that you don't even know? I mean, these people are in their own world, but then again, I would say so is everybody.
Nah, these people are like really in their own worlds, John. Like, we're on planet Earth. They're not. They are not. Have you ever watched Gossip Girl?
No, I know what you're saying. I would say they're further detached from reality than the average person. But then again, I think even we just assume that we're in reality. And when we could very well just be we could be detached ourselves in one way or another, to assume that we're in the perfect baseline, like already making that assumption, I think is, it's assuming a lot. You know what I'm saying?
I guess so.
I don't know. I think the more sure we are of ourselves is like the more we become open to error and blind spots in that sense. But
That's interesting.
But yeah, here's where I probably get a little annoying for some people.
This chick, she's definitely high on coke.
Yeah.
And also she's a princess. Princess Olympia of Greece and Denmark.
Well, when you're that rich, I don't know. Like, what else do you do? But just
I'm
get
telling you,
high.
man,
I mean,
these people live in a different world. Look at this girl. She's like, I'm not even here, man.
I think there is something that I don't know, like it isn't fun about it though either, because like what do you what are you actually like reaching for? What are you trying to attain if you've already have everything? Now, again, that's just like material wealth, but it's just a different. It would just be a strange. I guess at least like if you're not used to that, it would be a strange place to be.
I agree. It's kind of like a prison, actually, because you get, well, especially when you're talking about royalty and stuff. That's a whole different ballgame too. Because I think that's what kind of like happened to Meghan Markle. She didn't really prepare for what that meant. Like, because when you're royalty, you have to like bend the knee literally to the queen.
Yeah.
And everything like that. I don't know. It's weird.
Well, Jim, like, yeah, that carries a whole nother thing, a whole nother set of rules with it, right? But like
Mhm.
Jim Carrey, he said, "I wish everybody got rich so that they knew that it wouldn't make them happy." Something along those lines.
I mean, there's
And
a lot of actors like that are like very unhappy. Like look at Robin Williams. I mean, he was super rich and he was completely depressed. There's a lot of
yeah,
people that are like, very wealthy, but they, I don't know. It's like the old saying that goes, money can't buy you happiness. But I
yeah.
don't know. I don't know if I believe that. I feel like it really helps. I mean, I was really unhappy when I didn't have money. And then when I had money, I was pretty happy. So I don't know.
I mean, I think to a certain extent, like having a certain amount of money, I think enough to know that you're not like
Like you're not gonna starve.
stretched. Yeah,
Yeah.
that kind of thing where you're
Or
not.
like be homeless.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to live paycheck to paycheck or be in debt. So it's like to have enough to where you're comfortable and you feel like you don't have to worry about that at least in the immediate future. I think, but I think studies have said like once you do have a certain amount of money, like it doesn't matter how much more you get, it's not going to make you any happier. So I think there is truth that like money can make you, I think, happier, but it's not going to solve all of your problems.
I agree.
Yeah.
Grand Hobbit, thank you for the $2. Says Johnny Depp wanted to work at 7-Eleven. That was from that other video.
Oh, okay.
But he definitely did say he never wanted to be an Indian. That's funny. Grand Hobbit also said, he never wanted to be the cowboy. He always wanted to be the Indian. Grand Hobbit also says for $2, support Ryan Kinnell on XXX. Mambo. Louvers. Wow. Okay. Is that some sort of porn website?
I don't even know. Kurt Cobain too. He said something interesting after he became really, really rich and successful. He said like the fun thing about going to a thrift shop was, you don't have a whole lot of money. Like this was, of course, before he got rich and famous, and he would go to a thrift shop, and there was a certain amount of like joy in finding like if he only had a few bucks and finding like the perfect shirt or just it was like the hunt of it all. And he's like, now I can just buy the whole thrift store, and like it kind of actually took the fun out of it. Like he can't experience that feeling anymore. And
I love that feeling of when you find like the perfect thing in the thrift store and it's like $2 and you're like, yes.
yeah, I don't know. It's everything. I guess in some regards, it's like everything is relative to like where you're at and your previous experience and afterwards. Because I mean, if you think about it, like for some people out there, like even if they had perhaps like 5% of what you have, like they would be very happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like they might be considered like wealthy in their village or wherever they're at in the world. Like, I think if you live in the United States, the statistic is you're among like the 7th like the top 7% of the richest people in the world.
Wow.
Top
Well,
7 percentile.
I kind of understand that because I live in Mexico and my dollar goes a long way here. So like there's a lot of people in Mexico that are very like poor, but you know, they just they know like for like I would be in a different world for them, you know? Like
Yeah.
just living in a house here
Sure.
because they don't live in houses.
Yeah.
You know?
No, and that's why it's like we always are looking up a lot of times, like at like, oh man, they have it so good, and these people
Mhm.
that are, but when you think about it, it's like
Oh no,
how some people live.
I
It's
feel that, John, because I'm telling you, like I go to like you go like you go down the street here and then like you see like lady with a baby hanging off of her and she's like doing juggling and stuff like that to like, just get a couple bucks like
Sure.
at the red light. They'll come in like they'll do all sorts of tricks like and stuff like that like in front of the red light so that they can get a couple bucks here and there like and you give them an American dollar, they'll like that's like their whole day made, and that's
Yeah.
just because people just give them what like 10, 20 pesos each. Like you give them one American dollar, like they'll be like so freaking happy. Like it's just those kind of things. It's kind of crazy when like that
Yeah.
kind of stuff happens and you're like, wow, like I really have it good. Like, I'm like, it makes you feel kind of awkward too. I mean, it also happened to me like when I went to Iran, like when I went back to Iran, my dad took me to like my ancestral village, like where I was like basically my ancestors were from. And then like the people there, like I was like 15 and the people there were like kind of like village people. They lived in like this village and they were really poor and they lived in like little huts and like whatever. And they were so kind and loving and the kindest people I've ever met in my life. But
Yeah.
like there was like these kids there and they looked at me like I was like some sort of princess. Like they looked at me like they were so like threatened and they kind of looked at me with like wide eyes and like just kind of like their mouths open and like kind of staring at me because I looked so different to them, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and not just me, like I was not rich, like I was, I was not well off.
But to them,
But yeah,
to
but
them,
to
you
them I
probably
was
were. It's like probably the equivalent of like,
this, like the
we're
same
looking
thing.
at we're looking at these like
Exactly.
rich people, and they're probably like,
That was it.
you
It
know,
was the same
yeah.
thing. I was like, it really humbled me. That trip humbled the shit out of me because I remember like when I came back to Canada, I was humbled. Like I did not like I stopped fucking around. Like I was like, man, I got a good life. Like God or whatever it is, like gave me this opportunity to be in Canada. I can't piss this away. So I cleaned up my act hardcore.
Wow.
When that happened. It's true. Perspective matters. It's true. Okay, so a couple more topics and then we're done. One, just real quick. I saw this happen and I was like, I hadn't read the update, so I just kind of like kept it here. Have you heard about this?
Not in a few days. So I don't. If anything news come out, I haven't heard this.
This
no.
came out today. So
Okay.
Alec Baldwin sued over fatal Rust shooting as armorer claims she's being framed.
Oh wow.
So film gaffer Serge Svetnoy has sued actor Alec Baldwin and producers of the movie Rust over a shooting, excuse me, that left cinematographer Halyana Hutchins dead, accusing them of general negligence. The lawsuit, which was filed on Wednesday in Los Angeles Superior Court, marks the first of what could be many legal actions over last month's shooting on the New Mexico set where Rust was being filmed. The case names more than 20 defendants, including David Halls, the assistant director, who handed Baldwin the gun, and armorer Hannah, I don't know her last name. Gutierrez.
Gutierrez? Yeah,
Yeah,
there you go.
Gutierrez Reed, who oversaw weapons on the set. Baldwin fired the gun after allegedly being told by Halls that it was cold, meaning it wasn't loaded with real bullets, killing Hutchins and injuring Russ. Director Joel Souza. Svetnoy claimed that the bullet barely missed him, and he held Hutchins in his arms as she died. The negligence of Baldwin and other defendants has caused the plaintiff severe emotional distress and will haunt him forever, the lawsuit said. There was no reason for a live bullet to be placed in the .45 Colt revolver to be present anywhere on the Russ set, and the presence of a bullet in a revolver posed a lethal threat to everyone in its vicinity, the suit added. Svetnoy has accused the movie's producers of trying to save money by failing to hire a competent and experienced armorer, but the lawyer for the 24-year-old Gutierrez Reed has claimed that someone put a live round in a box of dummy bullets on the film's set as an act of sabotage. Dun, dun, dun. Lawyer Jason Bowles reiterated that allegations on Wednesday, saying that we are convinced that this was a sabotage and Hannah is being framed. We believe that that the scene was tampered with as well before the police arrived. He added that Gutierrez Reed met with Santa Fe County Sheriff's Department investigators on Tuesday, providing the full interview. We eagerly await FBI's investigation as well, and we are asking for a full and complete investigation of all the acts, including the live rounds. All the facts, including the live rounds themselves, how they ended up in the dummy boxes, and who put them in there, Bell said. Santa Fe County District Attorney Mary Carmack always said Wednesday that additional live rounds had been found on the Rust set. We still don't know how they got on the sets, she told ABC News, and how they got there, I think, will be one of the most important factors going into the charging the decision. So that is basically what's going on. Svetnoy's lawsuit, which seeks unspecified compensatory and punitive damages, detailed a series of alleged failures to provide failures to properly inspect the gun as it was loaded by Gutierrez Reed, given to Halls and handed to Baldwin, and then fired. Yikes.
Yeah, I'm definitely not like a big Alec Baldwin fan, but I mean, that's got to be very, like to live
Very
with that.
traumatizing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan either, but I don't I also think it's really interesting that now they're just saying like, oh yeah, like we that this could be a sabotage thing. I mean, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, I guess the question is, it's like, well, I know people were evacuated or people left the set because they didn't feel safe then. So my question is like, what exactly happened that day where people felt the need to leave the set? Like, I don't know, like, was Alec Baldwin going on a tirade? Like,
I don't know.
Was there
That was
Jane's
that was Jane's theory. Literally, Jane theory had a theory that Alec like basically had a tantrum.
Okay.
And then ended up shooting that person in like a fit of rage. And then it just happened that it
was loaded.
It was loaded.
I mean, gosh,
And apparently and Kamran Pasha also said that he didn't go into details, but he said basically that because you know how he lives in there, and he works with those people like in Hollywood. And apparently he knew someone that was close to the person who died.
Wow.
And spoke with them, and apparently that person was telling him all these stories and saying that like, you guys are not getting the full picture
story
in the news. Like things were going down on that set that is not being discussed. So it seems.
Will there be a court date? Will Alec have to take the stand? I mean,
I guess, like, I'm sure they're gonna have to call him to the stand at some point. He's gonna have to testify.
Or will this be handled outside of court? I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
It could be. They could settle. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, because it's not a criminal thing, right? It's like a civil suit.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, the takeaway is like, don't ever point a gun at somebody.
Mm.
I mean, unless you intend to shoot and kill them, you know. I mean,
Yep.
gosh.
Grand Hobbit, thank you so much for the $5, says, one thing I envy about countries south of the border are the awesome fruits you can find down there. What? Sorospos?
Soursops,
Zapatas?
zapotes, loquats.
Loquats? Ice cream, beans, etc. I don't know what the first words are. Loquatas is good though. I think I know what that one's. Loquats. I don't know what that is. Like, hold on. Is that like kumquats?
I don't. They're probably related.
Yeah, I love loquats. It's very similar.
A little different from high quats.
Yeah, it's this thing.
And then there's mid quats. Yeah, I've never had one.
It's this. They're really good.
But I've never had a mango either. So I don't think I've truly lived.
Dude, mangoes are amazing.
I guess they're pretty high in sugar.
Oh yes, and vitamin B.
Yeah.
All sorts of vitamins, actually. Vitamin D, vitamin C.
I'll have to try it sometime.
Zapotes. Make sure you get the good ones. I've never had zapotes. Oh, that shit is weird looking. Some sort of black fruit. Sour sops. What is that? Like looking this up now. Oh, this thing. I've never eaten this. This one's way too weird for me. I'm like, I don't know if I can eat this shit. It just looks way too alien. They have them here. Like I can go buy them right now at the store. But I haven't eaten it because it just looks way too alien.
Yeah. Wow. It's like
Look at this one. That's massive.
A pear meets an apple meets a porcupine.
Dude, this one is massive. That is like the ones I've seen are not this big.
Yeah, that's on steroids.
That's insane. Oh wait, I just like clicked it and you can't see it on my screen. It's a prickly kiwi. Yeah, it kind of is. It's weird looking. I like kumquats too. I don't think that's how you spell it.
Yeah, I mean these real quick, I seen Yellow Flash posted this tweet on Twitter. And when it comes to this whole Kyle Ritter case, like this is why I don't really
Oh, I saw this. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
like,
I retweeted it.
It's not like Kyle Ritter killed the salt of the earth. You know what I'm saying? Like Rittenhouse. I'm sorry. You know, both these guys, you know, to put it nicely, are just, you know, real pieces of work. And so, and you have to think like
They're
if you're
pieces of human garbage, John.
Yeah, like if you're dumb enough, the other thing too, like these guys were actually dumb enough to chase down a guy with a gun. Like how stupid, like common sense tells you if there's a person with a gun, you don't, and he's actually, you know, like you don't run towards him, right? You run away from a person with a gun.
Yep.
If you are dumb enough to try to take on and this was something like the defense, or rather the prosecution, like he was trying to make it sound like Kyle Rittenhouse pointing the gun at this guy who was chasing him, mind you. Like it was such a terrible thing. And he's like, you didn't think that this guy would feel threatened? Well, obviously he didn't feel threatened because he kept running towards Kyle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
he's like
You don't run toward. You don't feel threatened by somebody like, oh my gosh, he might like he's pointing a gun at me. He could kill me. I feel threatened, so I'm gonna run towards him more. You know,
and
like
he just and he kept saying that like he's like, but it was just a little pistol, and like you had an AR-15, and I was like, dude, who freaking cares? A gun's a gun. Like whatever, like the guy's pointing at you can kill you. Like
if the guy's psycho enough to be running after you when you have a gun. And he keeps coming at you, like, yeah, I'm thinking this guy is dumb enough to fire a shot at me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Oh my God. Some of the stuff that I heard today on that trial was freaking mental. I was like, are you for real? Like the prosecutor was so was so annoying at some points.
If you're feeling threatened by somebody the thing is, if you're in close engagement with somebody and they have a gun, and they think that like, okay, but if they're a distance away from you, if you actually feel threatened, you're not running towards them, right?
No.
You know, like if you're feeling threatened, like you want to get as far away as possible from them. You know, I don't know. It's just like this. It seems so common sense that, but again, I think he's trying to make Kyle say, say. He's trying to get Kyle in a bind.
He was so stupid though, because he kept like saying like there was this one thing where he was like, oh, so like you went to put out a fire, and then he was like, why would you go to put out a fire? And like Kyle was just like, how do I even answer this question? Because he was like, well, people call the police for that, like you like, and I was just like, how do you even ask someone something like that? Like, why'd you go put out a fire? Because I don't know, because fire spreads, and if you don't put it out, it's gonna freaking burn shit down. Like, you know, like how do you even answer something like that? And like it was so confusing. And like Kyle was just kind of like, that's the kind of stuff that I was like, how is his defense just letting this go on? Like, I was like, I can't believe, I don't know. It was just so weird. Some of the stuff they were saying, I was like, are you for real right now? Like some of these questions that's not right. Grand Hobbit, thank you so much for the $5. Says there are lots of different zapotas. The texture on most is very pudding-like. Sour soaps are very, very good. Also sugar apples, snake fruit, lulos, etc. Ooh, sugar apples. That sounds good. I don't know what snake fruit is.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
Thank you so much for the all the super chats tonight, Grand Hobbit. This stream has been brought to you by the Grand Hobbit of the KKK. Okay, last thing that I have on the roster here before we call it was this weird ass commercial with I don't even know if this is real, but it kind of seems real. And also like Microsoft did something really similar to this like last week. So I feel like it's probably real. And this is it.
Hi, my name's Marcus. I work at Robert Dice and I'm gay. I like going out with my friends and playing volleyball. I also like showing our gay and straight customers a funky range of our Christmas gifts.
Hi, my name is James. I'm straight and I work at Robert Dias. I like sailing, baking, and showing off all our Christmas kitchen gadgets to our gay and straight customers.
I'm straight and I love shopping at Robert Dias.
I'm gay and I love shopping at Robert Dias.
I'm bisexual and I always find something I love at Robert Dias.
Look at this Christmas tree. It's perfect for a gay person or a straight person.
This drill would work a treat in a straight person's home or a gay person's.
Robert Dias, where gays and straights can buy drills and much, much more.
Do you think this is real?
I don't think they would want to get in trouble if it wasn't. I mean, I actually think it's the tone is very like it's very monotone. It's extremely like, I mean, it's funny because of how like cringy it is and the tone of it and just how everything is said. I think they actually pulled off a funny commercial.
I mean, I think somebody replied to me and said like that this wasn't real. I was like, it looks real. I mean,
It looks like a real business.
it looks like a real business.
sure
I don't know
Robert
if that
Diaz is-
commercial is real though.
I'm thinking they.
Oh, this was it. This is a story behind this weird gay Robert Day's Christmas ad. The advert is real. It goes back to 2015. It was Robert Day's parody of an advert which went viral a few months before.
A few months before.
Or a few months before.
I think here, let me find. There's somebody did something similar to that, and I think it was.
Did you see
it's
the
a little different.
Microsoft one? That was fucked up.
Yeah, I felt like that last one was actually kind of funny. The Microsoft one, it's like they're too serious. I don't know.
Dude, they were for real serious. Did you see that one guy that like kind of memed them and was like he didn't meme them, but he trolled them. He like went to ask like help from the Windows guy, and he's like, "Hi, my name is like, whatever, and I'm a black bisexual, like whatever." And then he's like, "So what are you?" The guy's like, "Hi, I'm like whatever. I'm like I'm a straight male." And he's like, "What are you
Nice.
wearing? I need to know." And the guy's like, "I'm wearing like a shirt and jeans." And he's like, "Okay, where are you from?" "I'm from like this place." And then he's like, "I'm from this place, and I have to apologize to like all these like native like Indian tribes names." And he's like, I have to apologize to them. So tell me where you're from and where you have to apologize for." And the guy like he like responded back, and he's like, "Okay, now that you've answered all these questions, can you help me with my Windows?" I freaking died. And the guy was like, and the Windows person like replied back, "Ha ha ha, this is good."
It's a clown world, folks.
It was so fucked up. Okay, so what is this?
So this was a furniture store. This was actually 12 years ago, and the furniture store was called the Red Barn. I don't even remember. I vaguely remember the idea of it, so I'm just gonna play it.
Okay.
All just get along at the Red House Furniture. We can.
At the Red House.
I'm Richard, aka Big Head. I work at the Red House and I'm black.
At the Red
I like pumping iron and pumping furniture into people's homes. I'm Johnny, aka T.
Wait, was that a mannequin?
No, I'm pretty sure it was a real woman.
Her
but just
hand looked so fake. Like
just the way, just the close up on the hand, and yeah.
oh my god.
My volume, this is pissing me off.
You know what? I'll tell you how to fix it. I know what's happening to you.
I don't think it's gonna.
You have to right click on your sound on your computer.
Here, I'll do it. Can you guys at least hear this good enough?
You have to right click on your computer, open Sound Mixer, and then turn up your Google Chrome or whatever your thing is on your computer.
Okay, I'll do that after.
Okay.
I'm white. I like deer hunting, bass fishing, and extending credit to all people.
At the Red House.
I'm black and I love the Red House. I'm white and I love the Red House.
I'm a black woman and I love the Red House.
I am white and the Red House is for me.
At the Red House.
Dude, this is fucking funny.
Sofa is perfect for a black person or a white person. This mattress is perfect for a white person or a black person.
It's so bad. But you can see like the
Is this
inspiration.
real? Oh my god.
Yeah, this was an actual commercial. and it went viral. And I feel like this is kind of the like even the tone of it, where they're just like, there's no enthusiasm behind anything.
Yeah, like, hi, I'm Nina. I'm straight and I like shopping.
Yeah. It's kind of like the other commercial took the playbook from this one. I feel like
Probably.
Red house where black people and white people buy furniture.
Oh my God.
And all people.
Where black people and white people buy furniture.
it's so simple, but it actually worked.
that's
Yeah, it's got like
hilarious.
7.2 million views. Well, okay. So this is actually Rhett and Link because I recognize these guys. Let's see. The Red House Furniture ad was produced as part of our I Love Local commercial series sponsored by Microbit. So it was a legit
Oh, look, you
commercial.
can't see the dislike anymore.
Yeah, it's
Look it.
happening. It's happening, folks.
It's happening.
Well, that's all right. I actually like it. So
Grand Hobbit says for $2, what if you're into sheep? Like the Welsh. I don't even know what to say to that. Wait, what is this in regards to? What do we talk about?
I guess
Oh,
instead of saying you were
you're
straight
gay
or gay,
straight? Oh
yeah.
no. Ooh, I don't think you want to advertise that.
What if somebody's like, I'm so and so, and I like animals,
Yeah.
and they're like, but not in a sexual way or anything.
Well,
Like,
what if
can we
you're
just
like,
stop filming?
yeah, but what if you're a furry? Like, would you say that? Like, I'm so and so. Like, if you're working at Microsoft,
You're
and
like all dressed up as
yeah, like you're like, I'm so and so, and I'm a furry, and like blah blah blah. Like, do you have to actually say that shit now? Like, that's messed up.
I think-
Gary Thomas, thank you so much for the $5. Says, hello all. Before you go, do you know if Nancy Pelosi is still having an emotional fit over that AOT meme? What is that? I don't know what the AOT meme is.
I'm not sure either.
Oh no, Gary, you're gonna have to give us some context over this.
Is he saying the AOC meme? Maybe or AOT?
Maybe AOT meme. I don't know what that is.
Search.
But also Raymond Hoy, thank you so much for the $20. Says, hi John, good to see you. And Nina, it's awesome to see you, especially since I missed Toxic Femininity on Monday. Seeing you has done my heart good. Thank you for making my week great and stay as lovely as you are, heart. Oh, thank you, Raymond. It's good
Thank
to
you, Raymond.
see you too.
Appreciate
Really
it, man.
appreciate that.
Very much. Thank you.
Gary, you don't have to super chat, but just at me and let me know.
Here, I'm looking for it right now.
Oh, the Attack on Titan meme.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the one that got deleted, right? Oh my God, that was so good. Did you see that?
Nancy Pelosi calls for a criminal investigation over Rep. Paul Gosar's anime meme. What?
Oh my God, it was so good. And I'm pretty sure, I think like, didn't Twitter take it down? I think Twitter took it down. I know a lot of people took it down. I don't know. Like you would probably not get it as much because you've never seen
Sure.
like the anime, but for us that like the fans, oh my God, it was so good. So to answer your question, hell yeah, I think she's still salty. Although I don't know if she watches memes. I don't think she would care.
Well, she said threats of violence against members of Congress and the President of the United States must not be tolerated. GOP leaders should join in condemning this horrific video and calling the ethics committee and law enforcement to investigate.
Are you serious about this like Attack on Titan thing?
Yeah, it was well, not yesterday, but the 9th, which wasn't too long ago.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she really
It's like
really
the
took
new
it
it's like the
seriously.
new Let's Go Brandon for them. Like they
Guess
really
so.
took it seriously. That's hilarious. You know why? Because it was so freaking accurate. That was a really good meme. Are you good to hang out for a little bit more, or do you want to
I can hang for a few more minutes.
Okay, because there was this other thing that I saw last night actually while I was watching Geeks and Gamers. they do their Tuesday night situation, their stream. Did you happen to catch that by any chance?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so they played this video where this guy is like interviewing this lady, or well, he's not, it's a trans person, and he's trying to figure out who is gay. And I died when I was watching this movie, or this clip. So I was like, I need to show this to John. So shout out to Geeks and Gamers for introducing me to this video. I freaking died watching this. Just what while you guys are watching it, it was really funny. So here we go. So this guy wants to know, why are you gay?
We bring in the studio this morning one of the gay rights activists, Mr. Should I call you Mr.? Pepe Julian Onzima. Thank you for coming in. Good morning.
Morning to you.
Why are you gay? You are a transgender.
What shows that I'm gay?
You are a transgender, and
Yes,
you're
I
a gay rights activist and an outspoken.
Wow, really came out the gate.
How can I describe you? Now we're looking at the raging debate. You're a gay rights activist. Why should someone be gay? You're having a girlfriend.
Oh wait.
You perform the
This one is the
natural
cut up one. Hold on, we need to go back.
I mean, this is pretty good. This is all probably the good moments.
Okay, do you want me to just keep playing this one then?
I mean, I imagine it's probably a time saver.
Okay.
Because what's the original interview? Like, how long is it?
I don't know.
I'm not sexually active right now.
So what are you
By
doing with
choice.
this lady?
By choice.
By choice.
I've just not. I've chosen not to engage.
Doesn't that make you gay?
What do you mean? Doesn't that make me gay? I am male and attracted to a female.
So who is gay?
I'm gay.
So who's gay? I mean,
Wow.
everybody wants to know because so this lady
So it was a man that became a woman to.
No, I think she was female, became male,
Okay.
fell in love with a female, and now I think he wants to go back to being female, but I don't know. But he was trying to figure out who's gay because he was in love with a woman, but he was a woman. Does that make sense?
Okay. I got confused about like a minute ago.
That's everyone's confused. That's why that guy kept being like, "So who's gay?"
He just came right out the gate with the question. Or
I
is it like,
think-
you are gay?
Hold on, let's see if there's another one. Because there was another one that was like a longer interview. But,
Remember? Do you remember when Michael Scott in the episode with Stanley? When Stanley had the heart attack, and they're all on the floor, and he's walking around, and I think Stanley was getting stressed out
Mhm.
because of him. But he said something about Oscar. He made a joke about Oscar, and he's like, because of the gay. Do you remember?
Yeah.
It's so right.
I remember that. And I also remember the one that when Oscar came out as gay, that one was the most fucking insane episode. 'Cause
Michael's
he was
trying to
like-
kiss him.
When he was trying to kiss him, I was screaming. I was screaming, John. I was like, oh my God.
That scene was,
It was so cringe.
yeah. Let me see if I can find that clip.
Oh my God. And he's like,
You can tell like Oscar's just so uncomfortable. Michael's uncomfortable.
oh, that was so good. I just can't get enough of that guy. So who is gay? Hold on. Let me see if I can. I'm sorry. I need to watch this again. Just one more time. I'm sorry. Who is gay? Are you gay?
Thank you for coming in. We bring in the studio this morning one of the gay rights activists, Mr. Should I call you Mr? Pepe Julian Onzima. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Good morning. Why are you gay?
Yes, I'm gay.
You are gay.
I am Pepe Julian Onzima. I'm currently focusing on LGBTI issues.
So as we stand today, are you dating any female?
I've chosen not to engage.
Doesn't that make you gay?
It's who I am now.
Is this a disorder?
Absolutely
or something
not.
natural?
It's not. We have records from the World Health Organization. Also thought.
That
who
might have
thought
been
it
edited
was
in
a
there.
mental
Why
disorder.
should someone be gay?
As a male, I'm attracted to another male.
So why don't you shift and live
why-
a normal life?
Where should I shift? This is who I am. Why should I live in a form that I'm not?
You are gay. How did it feel
What?
being gay?
It's human. There's nothing. There's nothing.
Whatever you're doing is very unnatural, biblically and socially, naturally. It's unnatural.
Oh my god!
I think it's a bit. I am attracted to someone sexually. That is nature allowing me.
Why do you recruit young boys?
It's absolutely necessary, and they keep saying sodomy, sodomy, sodomy.
Yes.
Yeah. In most cases, it's anal sex that is referred to. There's a lot of molestation of boys. Yes.
If what you're doing is natural, do you intend to have kids?
I do.
How will you do it?
Can we just not
biologically, please? I want you to tell me how you can get a child when you're interfacing or when you're having intercourse with a fellow man or a fellow woman.
Is there only one way to have children?
They say a
Is there
feral
only
man
one
or
way?
feral woman?
You are gay.
Oh my god.
It's a good edit.
That was good. I feel like I need to watch that full interview.
It will not. I mean, I'm sure it'll be funny and will have its moments, but the way they cut, like both those videos were cut pretty funny.
Yeah. Grand Hobbit, thank you for the $2. Says, wait, no follow up to the molestation point. Yeah, answer his question if you want to know. I don't know. I just thought that guy being like, you are gay. was really funny. Because he's legit trying to figure it out. Wait, were you gonna share something?
Oh, the Michael Scott kiss.
Yeah.
With Oscar.
With Oscar. And then after that we'll call it.
Yeah, on that note,
On that note of Oscar being gay. Oscar's
trying to prove that he's not like homophobic or something.
Yeah. He wants to prove to everyone that he's accepting of Oscar being gay.
Yeah. He says, I want you to all burn this into your brains.
Yeah, and then meanwhile, Angela, the blonde lady, she's like hardcore Christian, and she's like, really like very uncomfortable with all of this.
I mean, I think everybody's got to be uncomfortable with this. I
Well,
don't know.
especially her though. I mean, look at her face. She's like, "Oh my fucking god, what is happening right now?" Oh my god. God, that show is so good. And on that note, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in this evening for this Infinite Talk. Wait, what's next week? Next week is the 17th. You're good to go next week, right? We're still good.
Sure. Yeah.
So yeah, we will be back next Wednesday. So definitely come and hang out with us at 10 Eastern. John, do you have anything coming up you want to plug or?
Just stay tuned for more videos on John Talks.
There you go. All of his links are in the description. Wait, what day is it today? Today is Wednesday. I don't know what's happening with the Queen's Council, but Friday I will be here on my channel for Infinite Hope. So 3:45, you guys can catch me on here for that. And yeah, that's what's going on with me. So again, thank you everybody. Thank you for just being in the chat, interacting with us, hanging out with us, spending your time with us. And if you've super chatted, extra big thank you, especially to Grand Hobbit of the KKK. Thank you so much for the $2. Why are you gay?
Why are you gay?
Why are you gay?
You are gay. Why are you gay?
Again, thank you everybody in the chat. Thank you for being gay, straight, bi, whatever you are, hanging out with us. Love you
Black,
all.
white, Cuban, Asian,
All of the colors of the
whatever.
rainbow. We appreciate all of you.
People, everybody.
All... Stay gay. Bye.